When you master the odds, shiver up my spine all through my veins. Will love you through life, even past the pain. Others may regret, I choose express. Looking through my windows, so access. 1, 2, 1, 2, the party don't stop. Excited about the future, so I move roadblocks. Tell the truth to every black seed, woman and man. If we don't come together, we can't expand. Melting in a pot, used to separate sand. First is confusion, erase our memories. Who are we to know if they planted false seeds? We must know we covered this whole place. Took control of everything, secluded us to a space. The planet wasn't big enough, we still exist. Creating chaos, so we must persist. I insist that you're pushing depopulation, trying to counterfeit God's creations. Fear should be at the very back of your mind. Believe it or not, we're running out of time. And if I get labeled that I'm pushing hate, I learned everything living in the right place. Absurd, believe half of what you see, some of what you heard. As the world turns, it's a merry-go-round. We better hold on before we hit the ground. Just another dream, don't wanna awake. My eyes are wide open, so it was a mistake. I was seeing my love, our life a collage. Ready to embrace, but it was a mirage. Had to get it together, cause life's an itch. When you're going one day, all of a sudden a switch. My niece said to me, I'm feeling like an adult. I'm a-moving with this man and it's not his fault. And he said he was feeling just like a child. And I could go to jail if I choose to wild. At my wit's end, feeling out of control. Give it up to God, give him that to hold. Succeeding and believing. I will always work hard when things get hectic. People that I love will always be protected. So yeah, Grand Rising.
Hold on. What you want? Yeah, I gotta work today. Alright. I'm getting up.
And the problem with some of y'all is you want somebody else to support your dream. But this is my time. This is my moment. Tomorrow ain't no such thing as tomorrow. What does your dream look like? What does it smell like? What does it taste like? If you want it to happen, get your butt up and make it happen. If you want it to happen, rise and grind.
You gotta rise and grind and don't let nobody stop your shine. You gotta rise and grind and don't let nobody stop your shine. You gotta rise and grind and don't let nobody stop your shine. You gotta rise and grind and don't let nobody stop your shine. People don't know something, they'll speculate. If they think they know something, they'll fabricate. And if they know something, they'll just hate. But you gotta make it happen for you anyway. Make a move that makes a difference. Stop worrying about people, leave it to the senses. Show your strength like a gymnast, and if you have to, mix it up like a chemist. Just make sure your goals are no limit. Shortcut or not, just handle the business. Show your skills like tennis and get back up the fight when they think you finished. You gotta rise and grind and don't let nobody stop your shine. You gotta rise and grind and don't let nobody stop your shine. You gotta rise and grind and don't let nobody stop your shine. You gotta rise and grind and don't let nobody stop your shine. Shine so people see they way through the dark. Don't be afraid to put the horse for the cart. People gon' judge you, but they don't know your heart. Another day, another dollar, another start to make your bite louder than your bark. You gotta be authentic, be humble, be smart. Take no days off, you gotta get that bread. Who cares about sleep? Sleep when you're dead. Don't keep calm, you gotta get excited. Make your presence known so you don't feel slighted. And don't let fear interfere with the woman or the man in the mirror. You gotta rise and grind and don't let nobody stop your shine. You gotta rise and grind and don't let nobody stop your shine. You gotta rise and grind and don't let nobody stop your shine. You gotta rise and grind and don't let nobody stop your shine. You gotta rise and grind and don't let nobody stop your shine. You gotta rise and grind and don't let nobody stop your shine. You gotta rise and grind and don't let nobody stop your shine. You gotta rise and grind and don't let nobody stop your shine.
Grand rising, grand biscuits, magic wand waving grand wizards. If you my man, 100 grand and a grand missing. I got 99 problems, what's the damn difference? Listen, on my unborn grandkids, you know a nigga grown when a band is a bandage and the band keeps playing when you on a Titanic and your home network can't handle the bandwidth life's a damn bitch. Still love her though. Raw sex pulling off the rubber slow. Rubber dub, that's a dry rub on the roast. Smells like burnt toast, you know I got a serious stroke. Periods broke like the levees. Flow on the mic kinda heavy. Got enough sauce for the spaghetti. Red hot chili pepper, order water under the bridge. I forgive niggas for wanting to live. I ain't mad at ya, I ain't the mad rapper. Just a mad dapper damn rather. Shimmy shimmy y'all like a capper. Somebody tell Boozy that I'm batter. Vanilla extract in a batter. I ain't playing patty cake. I mean, how many patty pies can daddy bake? Mad I gotta save a slice for Sally Mae. May the odds ever be forever in your favor. Forever and a whole day later. Day to day, day traders. Daylight come for slave labor. Labor Day, labor pains getting paid straight up. Grand rising, Grand Canyon, grandfather clock, grandstanding. You lucky if you got grandparents. Shit is Operation Grand Clearance. It's clandestine. Magazine, glam essence. 120 plan lessons from the ancestors. Fan blessings, hand-to-hand hand gestures, jam sessions, children asking damn questions, watching cartoons and wrestling. Grand Rising, Grand Central, Freemasons at the Grand Temple. All praises to the audacious, all-seeing eye, all patient. Call waiting for the hookup, cook up salt fish, just crooked how to pour, get rewarded with more risk. Fried dumpling, daily bread, top of the morning, getting daily head. Taking diabetic daily meds, sugar-free jelly spread. Crown Jewel got a heavy head. You got a headache from the Reggie Reg. Grand Rise, 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 Grand Rise.
Yeah, and you living life hella fake, and you taking all you can take, and you taking all of the steaks, and you taking all of the chicken, and sipping all of the wine, and wasted all of your time, and you do it all of the time, but I can't. Steady living a lie, but you think you living a lie, but you really living a night, and you think that the road's loose, but you really living a night, while you steady building a place in the system, but I am not, well I'm steady building a place in a place that's not a place, it's more like a face to a culture without a race, while I'm racing just to perfect the direction of my taste, cause I tasted the same shit that you tasted, and I ain't like it, you love it, I don't love what you love, I love different than love, my love better than love, much older than love, not this ain't shit love, but it ain't shit love, I know you wanting me to love like you love, but I can't, yeah, and I ain't gon' lie, and I ain't gon' steal, so I ain't gon' die, sometimes I ain't that dude, you know, I ain't that guy, sometimes I ain't that real, you know, I ain't that fly, sometimes I just get by, sometimes I just don't try, sometimes I laugh when it ain't no joke, sometimes I got money and I still feel broke, sometimes I do anything I put my mind to. Sometimes the failure is just there to remind you. Sometimes I climb down from where I climb to. The world is yours, nigga, but really it's mine too. Sometimes. And you living life hella fake. 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 Sometimes.
Lord of mercy.
Yeah, man, I know Kingston.
Lord of his mercy. You know, them bring out the lion in me. Them I feel me raw. Now bow down to no Babylon law. Them can't imply me. Them can't destroy me. Solid as a rock when they try to hold me back. Free up your mind from mental slavery. Only way you know yourself is know it completely. You've got to live righteous. It's hard cause they spite us. Babylon not trick me and not trying to fight us. But we refuse to be who you want us to be. Cause we are who we are, and a rebel. But we refuse to do what you want us to do. Cause we are who we are, and a rebel.
Cause we're destined for greatness, no rest, progress, keep creating. Said them can't break down what they have not created. New paths we keep making, above the land it's groundbreaking. No watch us fly over the hills and the valleys. Reach for the sky, it should be mandatory. Just give it a try and don't let them steal your glory. That's why we push ourselves, making sure we write a better story. Cause
we refuse to be who you want us to be. Cause we are who we are, and a rebel. But we refuse to do what you want us to do. Cause we are who we are, and a rebel. Yeah. No, no, no. Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm a rebel. Make we take it to another level. Them a act like them a Christ when we know them a the devil. Jah hear every prayer where we're making at the chapel, and we rejoice when they bounce and free the shackles. Alright, fire we a button, hotter than sun. When we ain't got to with them run up and down. Beat up the sound of the spiritual drum, make Africa here we a come. Cause we get the victory on the fight when we attack from in and the night. And after the glorious Michael Jah lead us in his light. We refuse to be who you want us to be. Cause we are who we are, and a rebel. But we refuse to do what you want us to do. Cause we are who we are, and a rebel, yeah. And a rebel, Them bring out the lion in me. Them I feel me raw. Now bow down to no Babylon law. Them can't imply me. Them can't destroy me. Solid as a rock when they try to hold me back. Free up your mind from mental slavery. Only way you know yourself is know it completely. You've got to live righteous. It's hard cause they spite us. Babylon not trick me and not try to fight us. But we refuse to be who you want us to be. Cause we are who we are, and a rebel. But we refuse to do what you want us to do. Cause we are who we are, and a rebel. Cause we are who we are, and a rebel. Cause we are who we are, and a rebel.
You Kingston and Wailing soul in the place.
Protect me from the evil in the streets. Protect me from the robbers and thieves. I'm begging for some strength when I get weak. Must beware of the mark of the beast. Show out the way. Guide me through these evil roadblocks. I and I keep the faith. Them can't trim my naughty dreadlocks. Say a little prayer for a sunny day. Can't take the sky when it's so gray. Jah give me strength so I never go astray. Listen what New Kingston have to say. Protect me from the evil in the streets. Protect me from the robbers and thieves. I'm begging for some strength when I get weak. Must beware of the mark of the beast. Protect me from the evil in the streets. Protect me from the robbers and thieves. I'm begging for some strength when I get weak. Must beware of the mark of the beast. Oh, Jah, give me the strength so that I never go astray. As I trod over these hills, over mountains and valleys, please guide me on my way. This is what I pray. At times in life we struggle, but I'm trying to keep the faith. So much going on in this world that is wrong. We're searching for the answers to the questions in this song. Do you have some time for me? Please hear me when I plead and take away this negativity. Yeah. Protect me from the evil in the streets. Protect me from the robbers and thieves. I'm begging for some strength when I get weak. Must beware of the mark of the beast. Protect me from the evil in the streets. Protect me from the robbers and thieves. I'm begging for some strength when I get weak. Must beware of the mark of the beast.
They try to clip our branches, but them can't kill the roots. Life can be a struggle, so we're off it is youth. Don't give me the drugs to juggle, don't give me the guns to shoot. Just trust in Jah and you will find a way to make it through. The race is for the swift, chosen are a few. Babylon asks the question like an interview. Because it's in the paper, do you think that makes it true? Just follow Jah teachings, then you're gonna make it through. Cause
protect me from the evil in the streets. Protect me from the robbers and thieves. I'm begging for some strength when I get weak. Must beware of the mark of the beast. Protect me from the evil in the streets. Protect me from the robbers and thieves. I'm begging for some strength when I get weak. Must beware of the mark of the beast.
Jaja work, Jaja work, Jaja work, Jaja work, Jaja work, Jaja work. Kingston and Welling, soul in the place. Jaja work, Jaja work. Open your head. Jaja work, Jaja work.
Yeah, man, I know Kingston.
Hear what the man say. Jaja work, Jaja work.
Well, you know, the thing is that he didn't like me and I didn't like him, you know, and, you know, he felt as though that he could knock me out, and that's what he thought. So, you know, it all turned around, he picked around, and I finished it for him.
Listen, I was feeling pretty good and wrote all of this. You ask your brother, how do I feel marvelous. The immortal Bob James wrote Nautilus. You ask your brother, how do I feel marvelous. And it do not really matter what I'm calling this. You ask your brother, how do I feel marvelous. I feel marvelous, marvelous, marvelous. I wrote all of this, all of this, all of this. Hey yo, step into a brother like me can prove fatal. I'm always trying to prevent the war like I'm NATO. I like to keep a smile on my face, but don't play though. My rhyme is basically concrete and yours Play-Doh. Build a tour, get sponsorship, and try to globe similar to Gilligan. I'm not the type that like when the villain win. Similar minds, I'm at the door, let me in, yo. Listen, I was feeling pretty good and wrote all of this. You ask your brother, how do I feel marvelous. The immortal Bob James wrote Nautilus. You ask your brother, how do I feel marvelous. And it do not really matter what I'm calling this. You ask your brother, how do I feel marvelous. I feel marvelous, marvelous, marvelous. I wrote all of this, all of this, all of this. Hey yo, step to the step as you levitate. You never seen Twine back on stage, man, I been a great. I never had issues with chicks, heard you renegade. You say that you cold and you swole, but disintegrate. Pause for the cause, lyrics broke all laws. Gauze for your jaws, cause you're not that raw. Letter man better than most all of y'all. Veteran green-eyed MC, y'all. I was feeling pretty good and wrote all of this. You ask your brother, how do I feel marvelous. The immortal Bob James wrote Nautilus. You ask your brother, how do I feel marvelous. And it do not really matter what I'm calling this. You ask your brother, how do I feel marvelous. I feel marvelous, marvelous, marvelous. I wrote all of this, all of this, all of this. Better than me, no, in the booth for show. Man, it's best you go to the other side with them other guys. Let them know you tried, but you nearly died messing with the Mac. You think you in my league, you must be smoking crack. And now your body caught up in a booby trap. I'm ballin' at the rucker like that hootie cat. And when the fans hit my jam saying, who is that? I was feeling pretty good and wrote all of this. You ask your brother, how do I feel marvelous. The immortal Bob James wrote Nautilus. You ask your brother, how do I feel marvelous. And it do not really matter what I'm calling this. You ask your brother, how do I feel marvelous. I feel marvelous, marvelous, marvelous. I wrote all of this, all of this, all of this. Listen, I was feeling pretty good and wrote all of this. You ask your brother, how do I feel marvelous. The immortal Bob James wrote Nautilus. You ask your brother, how do I feel marvelous. And it do not really matter what I'm calling this. You ask your brother, how do I feel marvelous. I feel marvelous, marvelous, marvelous. I wrote all of this, all of this, all of this.
I just started delivering for DoorDash, and I absolutely.
What I do to the game is a gift to the curb. Praise is due to the shoe and living Karen and your style 250 cop sucker come kill me. Feel it all in my soul and I feel it creeping up in my bones and I thought about my own and I couldn't know I feel it so close to me. Couldn't know I'm feeling so close to me. Like Optimus Prime.
That's how it is though. Even when your love gon' hurt you. Niggas falling under pressure, so I tighten my circle. Can't even trust your own fam when it comes to the paper. When you broke, it's all good, but when you got it, they hate you.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. This is JahLogic, also known as Mr. M, and this is the Morning Rant. And like my good brother Cactus said, we still here. We still here, the 95th episode in total, episode 35 of season 3. And today with me, I have my co-host, Schoolboy. What's up, player? How you doing? Mike is on Teddy.
There we go. I'm good.
All right, that's what's up. And also, Mimi F. Baby. Good morning, Mimi.
Hey guys, how's it going?
All is well. Good to see you. How you doing?
Good to see you. I'm good. I'm happy to be back. How is everybody?
Feeling good. I don't know what it's about that song. Well, I do know what it is about that song, but every time I hear that and some of the other songs, I definitely get in a really good mood. You know what I'm saying? With that being
Yes.
said, get to some of these comments. I know some people already pulled up already this morning, and we appreciate you all for it. So let me go ahead and pull these up.
While
HB20.
you pulling those up, yeah, like I have now gotten so hooked on the playlist. I'm about to send y'all like my Spotify morning rant playlist, and I just literally have taken all the songs. So you can throw it in the chat if you want, because I was listening to New Kingston literally all of their album. I literally played for an hour, like walking, just on repeat. So shout out to you and all this good music.
Oh, thank you. Shout out to you and the audience for appreciating it. You know what I mean? Tilt your screen a little bit. I don't want these comments to. Yeah, there we go. Word. So send it. I'll put it in the chat. I need to start putting the playlist in general, like each playlist every day, into the chat too. You know what I'm saying? Or the description. But sometimes I play a lot of similar songs, but when I play them, how I play them, and what I infuse them with, I just go off the rip. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like I need to start making the playlist maybe in advance so I can put it in the chat. Salute to HB20 once again. He says congrats on our 95th episode. Thank you, good brother. Thank you. Lorvel says Mimi has been Mia with Glocktavius. We're good to see you back. And HB20 says, yeah, I still play that Grand Rising. Yeah, salute. That means a lot from a dope artist like HB20 as well. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. Just One Love says, morning, so I'm not late. Awesome. Yes, you're not late. And good morning to you, sister Just One Love, our associate producer. And let me see. Virginia Slim says, loving all these tracks with positive affirmations. Yes, I'm glad. You know what I mean? Salute to you. I'm glad you enjoy it. Canna Blurred, a.k.a. Redemption, over there on Twitch, hanging out. She's putting the fire emojis. Ravioli says, morning. Good morning. Lord Vel says, Grand Rising to the associate producer, Lord Vel. Salute my guy. Eki says, good mornings. And she says, blessing royals. All right, blessings to you. Thank you. And salute to you and all the sisters at your queens. HB2N says, Grand Rising. Salute to my guy. Kenna Blur also says, Namaste.
Shout out to Redemption Song. So I had DM'd her yesterday when I was playing New Kingston. I found a picture and I started calling them like Kingston Migos because I was like, Kingston Quavo, listen, he is distracting, okay? Like he got damn, that nigga can get it. No, and if you have a girl, shout out to you, lucky girl. Like I just had to have a moment with her. So namaste.
Yeah, the ladies crushing over Courtney, the one named after their father. Once again, New Kingston is a band of brothers and their father. You know what I mean? They're actually all brothers, and the elder in the group is their father. So it's a family band. Salute to them. Salute to Courtney.
You can't even tell who's the dad. I was like, which one is it? You can't tell. But nah, and it works just like the Migos because they're like two brothers and a cousin. So I'm like, this Jamaican Migos, they just do it for me. They're so talented. One really truly looks like Offset. So there's Kingston Offset, Kingston Quavo, and Kingston Takeoff. Shout out to all of them.
Yeah. And Mills Lane says, Grand Rising Ranters in chat. Salute to my guy, Mills Lane. You know what I mean? He says Grand Rising. And hold on. Ahmad says, Mimi F, welcome back. Gives you the
Thank
fist.
you.
Black Power Fist. And Vijay Sim says, Schoolboy, better that fire for to have that fire for the Civil War report. They were liking the Capitol attack on the nation. Yeah, facts. And let's see what happens with that. Just One Love says, I did get my Twitch working. I forget. Thanks for reminding Redemption. And oh yeah, Just One Love got her. Okay, yeah, Just One Love got her Twitch working. All right, that's what's up. All right. And Canna Blur says sending hearts to Mia, and she also says no lies detected. Let me go back to some of the earlier comments, see what I missed. Pull it up. Okay, Sister Shampoo says Grand Rising. Grand Rising to you, Sister. Maz Algorithm says this shit is fire. Salute the Ahmad, man, for sending us a donation this morning already via Bitcoin. He sent us a Bitcoin donation. That's how you feel it, Ahmad, huh? You want that to multiply. I feel you, brother. Thank you for that, man. I appreciate that, man. That's the first Bitcoin donation we ever got. Mars Algorithm also says, what's good? What's good with you, player? All is well over here. All right. Sunflower Sky, sister out there in Utah, says, good morning, friends. Good morning to you, sister. Always good to see you on the check-in as well. The United Ronin Network says, Grand Rising King. He also says, I said salute to him. Hold on. He says, salute. Yeah, salute to the United Ronin Networks and my guy, Ralph, the big brother Ralph, you know what I'm saying? And that's our brother network right there. Definitely subscribe to that page, especially if you like, hood, what they call them, hood novellas or something like that. What we call those type of books where it's like hood sagas with what would you call them? How would you?
I know what you're talking about. There's so many different things, like Get a Book, Hood Classics is movie. I can't think of it, but yeah, like hood novels. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I'm with like the cartel and stuff like that. Mm-hmm.
He did Be More Careful. You know what I'm saying? One of the joints I enjoy is over there. Also, he got The Warriors. He got a lot of books over there, and he reads them for you. So he gives you the audio books, and he definitely is a talented dude. Let me see. Chris Jones says, top of the morning, kings and queens. Salute to my co-producer. All right, Chris Jones. Salute to my guy. Virginia Slim says, peace and good morning. Peace and good morning to you, Virginia Slim. You know what I mean? And this is the morning rant. And let me see. Canna Blur says, we should do something about Bitcoin education. That's a fact. Amar says, not so much big. Hold on. Okay, there you go. He says, I fuck with XRP Ripple heavy. And we definitely got to do some education on the channel. I do have somebody willing to do that. I just have to check in with them. You know what I mean? So we do have to infuse that into the show. And Ish says, morning to the fam. Salute to my big brother Ish, man. Always good to see you when you get a chance to check in, man. That's my guy right there. And they're clapping based on, I think, the Bitcoin donation this morning. And I appreciate that, real talk. So usually what we do is we start the day with some information, and we also then we get to the COVID bullshit. But we're gonna today we're gonna start with some. Actually, we're gonna start with some breaking news. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna start with some breaking news, and we got some exciting news. So let's get to it. This is Mr. M, also known as JahLogic, reporting with today's breaking news. All right, so everybody, put your hands together for Mia F. Baby and the cast and crew of Little David for winning Best Web Series for New York International Film Awards. All right, New York International Film Awards. Little David has won. They have won the Best Web Series. Salute to Mia F. Baby, the whole crew. Salute to David Williams, you know what I'm saying, who put the story together, you know what I mean, loosely based on his life. And let's bring Mia F. Baby to the stage. What's going on, Mia? How you doing? How you feeling today? How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. You know, I get embarrassed easily. That's why I sent this to you a few days ago. I thought you would have just said it, but this is very sweet. We're so excited. And it feels good to be recognized on that large of a platform, that they see us. And I know it's opening more doors. It already gave me like another job, so that's exciting. But yeah, it feels real good, and we're working to get a season 2 out. However, but that was like confirmation. Like, all right, the season 2 has to happen. Like, we're gonna figure it out. It's being worked out. So yeah, I'm just happy.
Congratulations again. And I know we have some comments pouring in, you know what I'm saying? And I will be reading them. But I do want to say enjoy this moment because this is the first award that the film has gotten, right? That the show has gotten.
No, we got best. This is the biggest award
Okay.
for the body of work, but we got best director for Film Freeway. And then this one, it's so funny because we're going and going about our days, right? Like, so like we'll get the email like your official selection, your finalist, all this, and David's hyped, and like a lot of the cast and crew, they're experienced actors, so they've been through this cycle before. But for me, I'm a creative, so like to me, my favorite trophies are like little green ones that come in my bank account. Like those are the ones I'm waiting on. So like I don't really like grasp like how important this is. And then when like it comes out where we won, I remember just pointing today, we're like, oh, we won. And then when he put it up, it kind of just became a big deal within like our social media family. And then after like, you know, getting then phone calls and texts, and I'm like, oh, like what is this thing? Right. Like, and like just going on the website and really just reminding myself, it was a good reminder to like stop and smell all of the roses too. Like there's a bunch of finish lines. So for me, the finish line is like getting a season 2 out there, making a successful show that like hits the masses and connects with people in a way. But having this moment to stop and someone even explain to me, as green as I am on like the film circuit, be like, no, this is really important. Like this is a win. It's just all humbling. Like it didn't really hit me until like people had to explain why this was like cool. Yeah. So
Okay. Well, I just wanted to say that, you know, you should definitely enjoy this moment. It's nothing like the first, you know what I mean, project getting its first awards, you know what I mean? So, you know, I know me personally, I think back to about almost 10 years ago now when I first got recognized for my film, you know what I mean? And, you know, it'll happen again and again and again, but it's something special about the first few times, you know what I'm saying? So I just only wish we wasn't in this fucking bullshit pandemic so you can actually really feel the energy, you know what I'm saying, by going to the award ceremony and being around the other filmmakers that's want to, you know, praise you for what you did, just for even finishing the project, you know what I'm saying? But with all that being said, in the description, it should be a link to watch Little David. We need y'all to run those numbers up. We need y'all to share it. You know what I mean? Run those numbers up because even though it's a great product, you know what I mean? You know, there's a lot of people out here that's you know, about the bullshit. They about the numbers. They about the fluff. They, you know, even though it could be a great project, which it is. I love the show. Most of you who watched it loved it. You know what I mean? Well, everyone who watched it on the channel always say they love it. But, you know, y'all need to spread it. You know what I mean? So the numbers get bigger. So we have more of a chance of getting season 2, you know, funded. You know what I'm saying? Outside of us, because, you know, we're going to support. You know what I mean? So, yeah. So, you know, check it out. Spread the link and all that. So I'm going to read some of these comments. You see, Gary Smoot says, congratulations. Hope I said your last name right, player. Virginia Sims says, damn, it feels good to see people up on it. Biz Markey. Salute, Virginia Slim. And Laura Vell says, I love seeing black people win. You know what I mean? And Sunflower Sky also says, congratulations, Mimi.
thank you.
Antoinette says, good morning and congratulations to Mimi. And
Thank you.
they didn't let you go unscathed. HB2 says, dude's about to start to trying to hit raw now, Mimi.
I will be careful. Thank you. Thank you for the reminder.
Gonna try to lock it down. You know?
Lord.
Chris Jones says, yes, congrats to you, Mimi. And let me see, Amaz's algorithm is clapping for you. Ish says, congrats. Redemption, aka Canna Blurred, says, well deserved. Check out Little David if you haven't already. Yes, check it out. You will not be upset. You will be happy you did. The link is in the description. Check it out. Mills,
Yes, to reiterate, sorry to interrupt. Yes, the awards for me is like please stream, because now even within these past couple of days, like film investors, like more established production people that I'm having meetings with, like their eyebrows are raised. They're taking me more seriously than they did before. So like getting those numbers where they can be. So if it's a share, if you've already watched it, just like pass it along, because we're doing everything that we can to like get those numbers up. So
right.
yes.
Yes, we need y'all to do that. That's a form of support. We need y'all to do that. Mills Lane said, congratulations. Mimi, just one love is clapping and sending the muscle emoji, says 100. Laurel says, congrats, Mimi. And Virginia Slim is also congratulating you, HB2, and is congratulating you. Let me see. And okay, I think I'm all caught up. And I don't know what the fuck this is, but I'm assuming it's a congratulation. I'm not sure.
Yes.
I don't know what it is. And there was a comment I tried to lead to something. Laura Vell said, will J. Doug be in season 2 playing a Trump supporter? Laugh out loud. And I don't know. You never know what will happen with season 2, but let's, help make sure season 2 happens. And I was going to bring J. Doug on the screen when that was said. However, he just stepped away, but he'll be back. I see him backstage. So just, throw it out there. Keenan Collins is not sure what the congratulations are for, but congratulations. So you must have just pulled up. So what that is basically, once again, Mimi, our own Mimi, aka Mimi F Baby, has won her show, the web series, which is it's a show, but it's on the web right now. So they web series by default, right? But it's a legit show. Says they won the best web series award by the New York International Film Awards. Best web series by New York International Film Awards for the show Little David. So salute to them. And that's what the congratulations was for.
Hey, can we remind people where to find the show?
Yes, it is on YouTube. So if you just type Little David, it'll pop right up there. I know there's a link in our bio, so thank you, Logic, for always putting it there. It's always been there. So you can go stream it. Please share it. And then, cheers to a season 2 or, new developments, all those things. And anything's possible. I think that was that Lorville's comment. Anything's possible. So J. Doug may be on it. I already have my wish list to figure out how to integrate this show in it. Maybe it's playing in the background or something. We're playing with everything right now, and hopefully just make everything make sense. So
all right, so I think this is a real right. Congratulations from Ravioli. Salute.
Yeah, congratulations, Mimi, on your achievement, ma'am.
Thank you, J. Doug. Thank you.
Yes.
And Big CC also says, good morning, kings and queen. Congratulations, Mimi. So with that being said, are you ready to get into some information?
Of course I am.
Of course she is. All right, let's get it. Next up is information with Mimi F Baby. All right. So let me get this intro and let's do it.
1, 2, 1, 2, ready.
Oh, I love this lower third, by the way. Good morning, everyone. Mimi F Baby. I've missed you guys. You already know what time it is. Information, because when you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. And here at the Ranters Union, we will always be ready. J Doug, can I get something?
Yes.
Thank you. Wake up, J Doug. You good? That's right.
Stay
So
ready,
the topic, the word of the day is perspective. And I'm going to challenge everyone, including myself, because I've been guilty of it, half full. glass half full, glass half full. That's the challenge that we're all going to live by. Our perspective with our glasses always half full because they truly are. I'm gonna give you a few things that happened within the past couple of days that make this resonate with me. So the first story, when we won this award, like our social media is like our engagement went, my personal engagement went up, and there was like a one person in particular that I've been trying to get a meeting with, right? It just so happened coincidentally that like she kind of, it felt like she ignored me. And then as soon as that information came, she's like, "Can I get a meeting with you?" And first I wanted to be like, "Bitch, please. No," right? But you can't burn bridges. So I told two of my friends about it because I'm not a industry. That's one thing like Logic and I have in common. We're very much so not industries. Like we're for good people. Let's work with good people. Let's grow together, right? So I have one friend who is like, "Yeah, that shit is lame," like, that. And then I had another friend who really shifted my angle and I really appreciated her for it. And she goes, "Well, that makes sense because now you're valuable," right? She needed to see your value. That didn't mean you didn't have it, but to move forward, people will see it. And then that amen will like multiply to another amen and get you into another door and another door and another door. So that level set helped me take even something that could have been a little shifty or like moved away that I don't move into like a half full situation. So and even then, like we've been working what feels blindly at times. Like you send emails, you go through these meetings. We're going through our process. I'm personally going through my process. Career wise, this film, other projects that we're working on, just making my thing pop, right? And so you do a lot of things blindly in faith, manifesting however it identifies to you. And the perspective is reminding yourself that the seeds are planted, they're not buried. Buried is dead, right? But they're planted, and you may see things sprout out and they may come in a few weeks. So us getting this award, that's 12 months and some change worth of seeds being planted. But then knowing like this little growth means like more is coming, and just staying true that it's not resources. It's not like your lack of resources. We came at this approach with nothing. My personal story, similar thing. Like I moved to New York. I'm originally from Eunice, Louisiana, where the biggest building is the Super Walmart. And now I'm in New York, like doing my things and navigating. It wasn't because I had a bunch of resources, but my perspective is I was resourceful. So I'm just really encouraged and excited right now. And this is just in a vulnerable moment, comes off of this weekend, literally sitting on this couch behind me, trying to figure out like, am I on the right path? Like your girl was like, what is the going rate for a beginner IG model? Because I don't know if this shit is working out with me right now. So let's try to figure it out. And God, the universe, whoever you talk to, the creator, will send you the reminders like this. But the reset I felt was important. And that reset really started within, and it was the perspective. So that's it. That's all I got.
All right. Salute. The cup is half full. I'll take that challenge. Let me see what's going on in your chat. Okay, so Lorvel says, Mimi, the F stands for fortunate. I like that.
That's right.
F stands for fortunate. All right. So next we like to get the bullshit out the way, which is the pandemic, coronavirus, COVID bullshit. So next up is the COVID update. Something we gotta just stay on top of. You know what I mean? We don't want anything to happen that we just don't know about. This is a show where we report the news, even though we go crazy. So we got to give it to you. All right. So let's go. Next up is the coronavirus COVID update for the morning rant. Good morning. This is Mr. M, also known as JahLogic, and this is the COVID update, reporting for the morning rant here on our Rant Network. So apparently, according to the CDC, the UK variant is the most common in the US. All right, so let's check this out.
The virus still has hold on us, infecting people and putting them in harm's way, and we need to remain vigilant. And two, we need to continue to accelerate our vaccination efforts and to take the individual responsibility to get vaccinated when we can. While these rates of vaccination are incredible and so encouraging for all of us, trends are increasing in both case numbers and hospitalizations. Across the country, we are hearing reports of clusters of cases associated with daycare centers and youth sports. Hospitals are seeing more and more younger adults, those in their 30s and 40s, admitted with severe disease. Data suggests this is all happening as we are seeing increasing prevalence of SARS-CoV-2 variants, with 52 jurisdictions now reporting cases of variants of concern. Based on our most recent estimates from CDC surveillance, the B117 variant is now the most common lineage circulating in the United States. Testing remains an important strategy to rapidly identify and isolate infectious individuals, including those with variants of concern.
All right, so that came to us from The Guardian. Of course, they were heavy. The CDC is always going to be heavy promoting the vaccine. We here at the Rant, the morning rant, do not like to tell you to and or not to take it, right? Even though some people give their opinions, it's really up to you if you're going to take it or not, right? So I just want to put that disclaimer out there, right? We didn't play that in order to influence you to take any vaccine, or we at the same time, we don't want to discourage you from taking it neither. If you do it, you do. If you don't, you don't. That's a personal decision. However, I did want to put out there that one, that the UK version is supposedly now the dominant version in the US. And I also want to put out there that even if you do take the vaccine, speaking of the vaccine, one thing I wanted to say for the update today is that it doesn't make you immune, right? So I see a lot of people who are taking the vaccine who are moving really carefree now. You know what I'm saying? I even have some family members that I know personally that recently they just had a party for one of my family members' birthday, and because a few of them had got the vaccine, it was a maskless party, and everybody was, you know what I mean, out there smoking and drinking and high-fiving with no mask on, under the pretense that motherfuckers is vaccinated, right? So I just want to say that I just want to remind people that it doesn't make you, according to what they're saying, giving it the benefit of the doubt that it works for what it's supposed to work for, it doesn't work to make you immune. It works to make, it's supposed to make you fight it off better, not make sure you don't get it. So if you are somebody who did get the vaccine, we still be safe out here. And if you didn't, be safe still. Everybody just be safe is my bottom line.
It sounds like the condom of COVID. Like it's 99.9%. You know how they have that blur? It's like this won't protect you from HIV or AIDS. It's like 99.9%. So do with that as you want.
And Sunflower Scott says, in 2020, if you said there would be a vaccination passport, you were called a conspiracy theorist. Now what? They are here. Pay attention. They are here. Not in every state and or city yet. There is one in New York City. It's not mandated yet, but it's definitely something businesses use to see your information. It's an app that will house all of your information, whether you've been tested or, have the vaccine. But once again, if you have the vaccine, it shouldn't matter. It should really be about if you've been tested, because having the vaccine doesn't make you immune. I can't stress that enough. Having a vaccine does not make you immune. It just means that supposedly, I don't know, I'm not a doctor, but it's supposed to mean that if you get it, you're supposed to be able to fight it off better. You know what I mean? It's supposed to risk hospitalization, not ensure that you don't get and or spread it. All right? So if you know anybody who's moving reckless because they've been vaxxed, just give them a friendly reminder. That doesn't mean that you won't get it and or spread it. Lovella League says, my granny got the shot yesterday, passed out, then called me to get the shot right after she passed out. Shaking my head. Yikes. And Jersey Jen, my big little sister, says, laugh my ass off condom of COVID. Condoms break. And Schoolboy, your condom ever broke? Look, I'm trying not to answer.
Yeah, so I have 2 kids. So you know, it's happened before.
J Doug, same question. Your condom ever broke?
Not to the point where I'm putting no baby in no woman like Schoolboy, but yeah, but nah. It ain't nothing that I didn't go unresolved in the moment. I didn't continue on. Schoolboy sound like they wait for that motherfucker to bust so he could snatch it off. He's like, good. And I'm really finna dive in. Oh.
Yo, don't sing on this show, bro. This is not a singing show. We're trying to talk to one another. You're crooning with people in the morning. We're good, bro.
Ah, here you go, man.
I gotta quote one of the greats when they say it. And if for y'all who watch the show, y'all know what I'm talking about. He said, "Let him sing, let him sing."
Yeah, let me hold that shirt so I can play tic-tac-toe on it later, Schoolboy.
Yo, don't you live in Florida? What's the weather like in Florida this morning?
Cold. It been cold. Like, I don't know what's going on with the weather in Florida, but it's been ass cold in there. It's 66 degrees in here right now, and that's in the building, and I ain't got AC on. It's cold in Florida.
I turn my heat on so it can be 65 degrees in my house.
Oh,
turn the air on, whatever.
Around this time, you gotta have the AC like at 69 usually. With the sun to come out, but in the morning and the night it be cold. But it been like cold. I don't know what happened. We got a little cold front last 2 weeks.
All right. Well, look, let me give I like to be fair up here. And if I see something that reminds me of a point somebody's once had on the show, I like to throw it at them and let them further prove their point. And but that doesn't mean we don't challenge each other's points. But J Doug in the past have went on record talking about jail is he thinks is one of my homeboys called me after the show and said Thug Mansion. He thought it was hilarious that J Doug thought of jail as Thug Mansion. So with that being said, I want to talk about NBA Youngboy real quick before we get to some serious shit. So NBA Youngboy has been locked up, correct, J Doug? What's he been locked up for? I don't really follow that man's career. What's going on with him?
I'm on young nigga time. NBA Youngboy, he's been just terrorizing the whole country ever since I done really caught wind of this guy, from beating bitches and all type of stuff. Excuse my French, but it's been a mess. And then he was spinning the block on some people, and not to mention all the beef and all the people that's popping up dead around him. We ain't even talk about all the dead people that just popping up in his crew and the people that he be beefing with and stuff. But he's been terrorizing the world for like the last 5 years. And he had a charge from spinning the block. He got convicted. But since they got these lax laws where they say, hey, I don't care if you shoot somebody, you make a record, can somebody tap their toe to what you're doing, we'll let you out. So they let him out on a suspended sentence to go terrorize some more and create more victims. So while he was creating more victims in the world, while they let him out,
allegedly,
no, it's not alleged. This is what's going on.
He created more victims. He got charged for creating more victims.
Hey, right? I got the proof. I can show you victims that he created.
All right, good.
He was out here creating more victims until the government said, hey, you got a gun in your hand, a black man with a gun, or we're gonna pull the plug on you. So they pulled the plug on him because he was walking around with guns in the video. Now the feds got him. So the feds pull him up on a gun charge. They was going to let him out on bail, but he already had that suspended sentence with that judge from the first case where he shouldn't even been out anyway. But they gave him, and that judge said, nah, you staying in this time. So thank God.
Well, the reason I brought him up is because apparently he's still trending. He's still trending even though he's in jail. So like you said, his bond was denied last week, but he's trending because he's out here in jail taking pictures with
his woes. Them woes. They call them woes. That's what the blacks call them. Them his woes. They chilling, shooting dice. He's smiling. He got his teeth pearly white. Salute. And I hope he had his hair braided before he went in. I hope a nigga didn't say first it out real quick. Let me get you right, my nigga. We finna take a pic. But yeah, man, them niggas happy. They having a good time. It's no big deal. Let them go through the process. And he looked like he getting humane treatment.
All right, so there you go.
And what is all this taking pictures on the phone and stuff? And social media, if you get to do everything out in the world that the world is doing, you might as well be free. I'm like, what is this? Just like a free living situation?
Nah, I'm with you on that. Like, I don't get, like, I don't
Worry
get the
free
social
for
media
niggas?
that part.
But I'm telling you, if niggas could probably have a woman come down there and get some conjugal visits, probably, I say once a month, niggas would volunteer go to prison, rent free. I could chill all day. They be in there smoking weed, smiling. When I see some pictures from niggas in prison, I need to see some crying, some tears, some motherfuckers. I need to see some pain in your motherfucking eyes, nigga. You know, you having a good time. So no, I don't feel bad for these people. And yes, I want him. I really want him tucked away because I'm tired of all this terrorizing everybody, shooting people, and you could just walk around and create more victims because you can rap. Nobody don't care about your rapping.
All right. Well, so let me get this straight. You don't think they should have phones or computers in jail, as you saying?
Listen, once you go to prison, you is a convicted prisoner. You have victims possibly somewhere along the line. You harmed somebody. You did something that you had no business doing. No, you should lose that privilege of talking on the phone. Most motherfuckers out here don't do nothing but stay on their phone. So if you're going to give a motherfucker a place to sit in the corner and be on the phone all day, hey, I would do that and be just fine. Get my charger, my iPhone. I would chill all day, nigga. You better some weed.
Wait.
You better have the charger. You gotta have the charger.
And no worries. And no worries. You don't worry about bills. You don't worry about life insurance. You don't worry about car insurance. You don't worry about renewing your car.
J-Dub, you been to jail before?
No, I don't need. Why I gotta go to jail to know that you're supposed to be getting punished while you there?
Okay, I was just asking because this shit sounds sweet, but this shit ain't
punished or reformed. Punished or reformed.
Man, them niggas come out preserved.
Yeah, but
you know what I mean,
what she's asking you is, do you think they should go to jail to be punished or reformed?
Oh, I thought you say replenish. I don't know. I thought you said replenish. Them niggas come out replenished like a motherfucker, ready to do some more shit. But should they be they should be punished and reformed. It's both.
All right. Well, this is what I want to say, right? The point of having those technologies in prison is part of the reform, right? So it's been, documented via research. I know you don't like to believe in research and all that, but it's part of stopping the recidivism by actually having them have contact with their family members and loved ones, right? So everybody's not in there for violent crimes. You know what I mean? We do know that there are a lot of people in there for nonviolent drug offenses still. And not necessarily just marijuana neither, but, just nonviolent drug offenses. So people being able to have contact with their loved ones is part of what makes them want to reform. You know what I mean? Where in a case when they don't have contact with them, sometimes they just get worse. You know what I mean? They just get worse. So
I feel you on that, but it don't stop. You can't make these people happy. Let me get a phone. Oh, let me get a steak dinner. Oh, let me get a motherfucking head in the cell. It's gonna be some next shit level shit always coming trying to make these people feel comfortable. I want you uncomfortable in jail. You don't see your family for the time that you're in jail. That's what I really want, because I want you to learn from what you did. Your family could be taken away from you. Yes. This is the point of prison. But if we just having these little soft vacation places where you just go and you chill and then you come back out better criminal, because that's what most of these niggas come out, better criminals. But yeah, hey, like I say, let them out. Let them kill their mama. Let them out so they could come down the street and get some more old ladies. What you think gonna happen?
All right. With that being said, hold on. Let me go to these comments. On my algorithm says, "How you happy in jail with a bunch of niggas?" Exactly.
Yeah, I want you to be tough. See, he be out here in the world acting like he's tough, walking around. He be a young boy, and you in jail. He smiling. Nah, nigga, I want niggas behind you. Get away from me, niggas. And you ain't should be no nigga. Why are you even hanging out?
Yeah, like that picture was hella suspect. Like niggas was leaning over and shit with their hands all on each
I
other.
told
Like
you a
for
nigga
what?
braid his hair
That
while he
was
was in
not
there.
COVID regulation, bruh. What are y'all doing?
Man, COVID, they pick and choose when COVID matter. I'm just telling you. They just pick and choose when that's important. If it's something more important that's making money, COVID don't matter.
Right.
But they use that just as a space filler now.
All right, hold on. Let me get to these other comments or whatever. Virginia Sim says that's what the blacks call them. Hilarious. And let me see. Yeah, Lorvell says NBA young boy is in Thug Mansion, and my brother took pictures in jail too with his.
You in jail watching porn? Living? Nah. We gotta cut all this crap out. No phones in jail. You in there looking at Instagram bitches? Nah.
We just talked about St. Louis earlier, where folks sitting up in that jail for 3 days and can't get no food. You know, they ain't got no sanitary situation in they toilets or whatnot, and ain't nobody about to live like that either. So
no, but I'd rather that because you're gonna remember those harsh conditions. I don't know what it is. I know everything is the mother's way nowadays, but we take any type of tough situation. We want to coddle everybody. How do we grow as men? How do we learn as men? Is every time somebody coming and putting a cushion under your ass.
Right, but the issue is if you send people into like a human zoo where like it's just a jungle in there, and then they come out, they're gonna still be community members when they get out. And you have to deal with that jungle-minded individual on the streets. So you don't create that environment for them to grow.
I wouldn't say that'd be an environment for them to be in a permanent situation. But yeah, if you gotta suffer 2-3 months, I'm not finna shed a tear for you. Now, would I want you to be living like that for the rest of your life? No. But for 2-3 months, hey, we ain't making no money in the prison. Y'all niggas ain't making no money here. The lights off. And until we get some money rolling into the prison, we turn the lights back on and the water back on. Niggas, there ain't no free ride.
Hey, listen. First of all, they get paid for every prisoner they have in there.
We don't got enough money to pay the light bill though.
No, they do.
No. Shit went up. Y'all niggas, y'all some reading niggas now. Now you want to read? Nah, we got charging. You in here charging phones and taking pictures? Nah. 2-3 months, no lights. No big deal.
That's what I'm saying. And I'm losing my train of thought. But listen, they do have enough money. You know what I mean, to pay for all of that shit. But what I was trying to say was, everybody's not living comfortable, like Schoolboy was saying. And I know
Warden may need a new G-Wagon.
And I know you saying they shouldn't, but what you're describing is called the hole. So they have a place to put motherfuckers when they want to punish them further, where they don't have these privileges. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying. We need to make the hole the regular population and make the hole actually a fucking hole in the ground where a nigga tie a rope around your waist and dip you down and you come back up in a couple days.
Nah,
we need to take this stuff to a next level.
Because
people is not getting no nicer. But I don't want to stay on it.
They're definitely not staying on it. But the whole is to punish them once they get into trouble in prison.
I know, I'm just being silly, man. But listen, I don't like all this. All these lats situation for these guys. Some of these guys is hard criminals and they really did some things and they need to be punished. We don't need to have the bad chilling with the good.
Well, if that's the case,
we gonna have the good suffering with the bad, like the real way.
If that's the case, we need
the normal way.
We need a lot of the real criminals in there. You know what I mean? The white collar criminals as well. We need a lot of the people who are the real domestic terrorists with law on their side, with guns and badges out here. We need them in there if that's the case, and not just overwhelmingly pack the prisons with people who look like you and I, even though we're not the majority in this country. But let me go to these comments, man. It says creating victims. He's laughing. Virginia Sim says J. Doug speaks in absolutes. Not everyone in prison deserves to be there. That's a fact. Laura Vell says, says I have only been to juvenile. It felt like prison. They had us doing push-ups and burpees in the sun. Also, I was next to a cell where a Mexican lost his innocence. I didn't sleep that night. Trauma.
You was in a lucky cell, nigga, because you could have been in the next cell over. But that's what I mean. And you ain't and you were traumatized and you ain't want to go back.
So far.
That's prison.
What?
That's the prison stories we need. That's what we need to hear so we can discourage the youth for
So
doing
J
crime.
Doug, I'm trying to keep quiet as most because we already went back and forth on another episode. So, but what I will say is like what Virginia Slim said is I don't think a lot of things that you're saying are wrong. Is because you're speaking in absolutes, it umbrellas people who don't deserve this treatment, and then it's everybody should be X, Y, and Z, and that's not necessarily the case.
Hey, if you in a bad bunch and your light start to shine, we'll pull you out. But if your light ain't shining, you gonna get treated like you in prison. That's
That
it.
sounds
Not
like
saying
right, but we
that
know
we know it's some
that
innocent people, but we have to have a system set up for people when they go to prison. It's not, you can't treat them like they're innocent. We have to, once they go through the system of proving their innocence, then they get treated like they're innocent. We can't treat people as
that's
guilty
saying that
like they're innocent.
yeah, but that's like saying that we have a system that does that well. Historically, we don't because there's a lot of good people sitting in jail right now that don't. And then when you use words, one in jest, so some of these things like we joke about it, but these are people's real lives. Why? Because you're like, oh, I was just joking about that. I was just playing. Like, no, these are like important things to discuss, not in jest, because like it affects our lives, mainly people in the Black community that look like you and me. And the darker it gets, more so looking like you, it's even more worse. And then we use words. I'm saying that nicely. You have used words just now, like, oh, like whether it was the Lorville was like, yeah, like that traumatized experience made you not want to go back. That's not the goal to get niggas traumatized. Like that's long term effects that we don't even know can root because you can't undo the time. Even if we feel like, oh, they're innocent and okay, now we'll just remove them from the jail. Even if we give them therapy and wellness checks, like they also can't get time back, which is truly the greatest luxury. So I just would encourage you to like think a little bit more clearly on how you're saying things because you make great points, but that absolute is where the fork in the road is.
No, but we have too many people out here that's ready to take advantage of a soft system. And we can't set the system up to where it's soft and lax to where criminals know, hey, I'm going to benefit off a weak society and everybody want to be cuddly. And then they're going to do more crime. We got to set the system up as hard as possible. Okay, and if some people come through the system and they slip through the cracks, we'll do what we need to do after that. We'll say it's a system set up for that too. But the system that we have to deter criminals, deter creating victims, deter people getting raped, deter people from killing, deter people from robbing, deter people from molesting children needs to be tough. Period. It don't need to be no cuddly stuff need to be mentioned. Now we found out you need to be treated cuddly. We sorry, but this is a serious system, and you got some evil people out here, and we need some deterrence. We don't need no people thinking that it's gonna be heavenly if I do this because the system is weak anyway. What are gonna stop people?
I said everything I wanted to say.
All right. Schoolboy wants to say something, and and then I'm gonna say something after that. Schoolboy.
It's the process. It's the process. You don't just like wake up in the morning and appear back in jail or appear into jail. You know, somebody's getting a shitty trial and they're in jail, and now we're talking about how we're gonna rehabilitate them when they get out, when they wasn't supposed to be in jail in the first place.
Right.
That's ridiculous.
Right. I think underestimating how many people are wrongfully arrested and given harsher sentences. I think you're definitely underestimating that. It's not one person. It's not just 10 motherfuckers. It's millions of motherfuckers in there with harsh sentences that shouldn't be there. And I also want to say that when the jail was fucked up, even more fucked up, because all this shit is new. The technology that they're getting is even new. So the treatment is even new, right? So when jail was totally fucked up, you know what I mean? When the conditions was totally fucked up, when people were getting raped even more commonly, right? When people couldn't use the phones, and have technology and all that shit without having the permission of the motherfucker who run the house and all that, which I believe is probably still a thing. You know what I mean? It didn't deter shit. It never deterred a criminal from going to jail when jails were even harsher, because what we're talking about is the prison reforms that we're seeing happen. So all of that idea of, oh, it's going to be harsh, it's going to deter people, it's not reality, bro. It never deterred nobody from doing no sick shit if they was a sick individual.
Well, if harsh conditions don't deter people, then the answer is definitely not soften it up.
All right.
You know what I mean? It sounds like they make it harsher.
Nah.
Until we get some people that's going to deter.
All right. C-Dot says, good morning. Good morning, C-Dot. Good to see you. All right. And Sunflower Scott says, I agree with J-Doug 100%. Just One Love says, all that J-Doug talking, he better never go to jail because he going to change all his opinions. And Canna says, insane. Lorvell sent a C-Dot shout out. Scott says, it's like sending your child to their room for punishment and they just play their video games. To be on their phone, etc., that is not punishment, she says. And she also says, first abolish for-profit prisons, and I don't think that they will be doing that. My algorithm says lucky sell, fuck that. And Canterbury is agreeing with Mia. Chris Jones, our co-producer, says J-Doug is speaking like a Republican. And let me see, all right, Chris Jones says, scratch that, never mind. Canterbury says, huge disparities in the penal system, and that's a fact. And
no system gonna be perfect.
Yeah, but that's one of those systems that got to be close because you know, people that go there, it's not supposed to be there, which is an alarming number, are facing harsh treatments, and it doesn't call for that. You know what I mean? Virginia Slim says, tougher prison system isn't going to deter crime. Fuckery and evil will persist no matter how harsh you make the system. And that's a fact. And that was my point as well.
Well, just let it run wild then and see where that gets you.
I don't think it's about one going to the other extreme. It's just, we just let you know that it's not going to deter it. You know what I'm saying? Like that argument is not, it's not a good argument to say that, once again, when shit was totally crazy, or even in other countries where jails are crazy, it doesn't deter criminals. It doesn't deter people from doing sick shit. If you're a sick individual, you're going to do sick shit. It's not going to deter people from doing it. Next up, I do want to get into some Civil War report. There's a lot been going on, so we're going to try to freestyle it a little bit, but we definitely have to talk about this man who drove the car near the U.S. Capitol. We got to definitely start there. We never spoke about it on the show. So next up is the Civil War report with your man, Schoolboy.
All right, can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir.
Alrighty. So so we had a guy drive into a barrier in Washington D.C. and hop out with a knife. All right, so obviously he's crazy. You know, something in his mind has snapped, because you can't drive your car into concrete and then hop out with a knife to attack people with guns. That's not what people do when they're sane. So I know this was tied somehow early. The early reports tied this to the Nation of Islam out of nowhere, and because they saw that he had given a donation, and that's interesting. But obviously, the Nation of Islam come out with an official statement saying, he.
Well, before we get to the statement, just play the clip in context.
Rammed into two Capitol police officers at a barricade outside the U.S. Capitol. And we're just hearing in the last few seconds, NBC News are citing law enforcement sources telling us that the suspect, the driver involved in this incident, was a man and has died after being shot by Capitol Police. Greg, I think you're still on the phone to us there. That's breaking news. The suspect, the driver involved.
All right, and I'm gonna get the statement from the NOI up on the screen as well. But you can go ahead with that. I don't hear you, brother.
I think they said he had tried to gain membership, but he didn't actually complete it. Why is this on
I think he had some posts, some social media posts or something like that.
Got it.
Where he was posting Farrakhan quotes and videos or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But go ahead, brother.
Yeah, no, I was just saying, yeah, and like they said, Timothy McVeigh is a Christian. A lot of these other domestic terrorists have been Christian, but nobody even brings that into the conversation when they get caught. So it's kind of inappropriate. But we know why that's happening, because it is what it is. It's a psyop. They want to make sure that they want to make sure that we're always the big and bad enemy. So it makes it justifiable when the police do stuff like Derek Chauvin did, and kneel on somebody's neck for 9 minutes.
So this this statement is pretty long. Did you have any takeaways? Do you want to do you have it in front of you? You want to read it? Or?
Yeah. So I do have it in front of me. They talked about how they've been to the Capitol in 1995, and nothing crazy happened when they went to the Capitol, even though they suspended the operations of government that day because so many people came. And of course, the government says that only like hundreds of thousands of people came there to the Capitol, but it said that there were millions of people who were at the Capitol that day, right?
I'll read some of it.
Okay.
We have prepared this statement to end. This is the Nation of Islam official statement on the U.S. Capitol assault. I'm not going to read it all. It's really long. So they say, first off, they start by saying, brothers and sisters of the Black community, members of the press, and the American people, we have prepared the statement to answer some of the many inquiries that we have had over the last few days about Mr. Noah Green. Naturally, we, like most of you, were disturbed watching the news of an assault on the U.S. Capitol where one police officer was killed, one was injured, and Mr. Green was killed. We speak on behalf of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, the members of his family, all of the registered Muslim members of the Nation of Islam, and all people of goodwill everywhere. In that, we are in sympathy with the victims of this tragedy. And we are in sympathy with the families of these victims, and we, like you, can only offer them condolences and our deepest sympathy for their loss. Our prayers are for the full recovery of the officer who was injured. The Nation of Islam has no history of violence against the government. Federal, state, and local law enforcement are all well aware of our history. We have held 4 national marches, including the historic 1995 Million Man March, which we know to be one of the largest gatherings in the history of the United States of America and the most peaceful on the U.S. Capitol grounds. We had a good working relationship with the U.S. Capitol Police during each of these historic events. It is being reported that Noah Green was a follower, they put that in quotations, of the Nation of Islam. This young man, Noah Green, we believe, may have attended our Savior's Day convention in Detroit, Michigan in February 2020 and March of 2020. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, we closed our mosque and began conducting meetings and classes remotely. A search for our records indicates Noah Green was not a registered member of the Nation of Islam. It appears that in late summer, August to September of 2020, he started the process to begin his study to become a member, but he did not complete his process. So I'm just going to go ahead and leave it there. So go ahead, schoolboy. They try to tie him in to being a member of the NOI, and they're saying he was not a member. What can you tell us about how strict it is to have a membership with the NOI? Can anybody just claim to be a member by following the teachings or reading a book, or do you have to go through a process, schoolboy?
No, there's a process, and you have certain benchmarks that you need to meet in order to be able to claim to be in the Nation of Islam. So you can't just attend a few Zoom meetings. I'll suffice to say that.
Okay.
And that's what I was saying earlier before about how, like, you know, I think I've said this before. Black people kind of need to have a better standard for how we identify one another, because everybody talks about the culture and just lumps everybody in there.
Mhm.
Everybody doesn't have the same culture, you know. Like J Dub was talking about the culture of certain people that would end up in prison and stuff like that. You know, everybody, the majority of people in the black community in the United States even have never been to prison, and I want to say never been to jail. I don't know how soon that's going to be changing, but that's the fact of the matter. So we can't act like everybody's out here, you know, committing crimes and stuff like that. Everybody doesn't have the same culture.
All right. Well, once again, just give us a little bit intel on what it takes to be a member, and why do you think that they consider him a member so easily?
You said, why do they think? I'm sorry. Why do they think? I didn't hear that last part.
Why do you think they were so easy to just say he was a member of the NOI? Is what I'm saying.
Oh, because I think he posted something up about him giving $1,000 donation to, or he got some kind of certificate as being some kind of sponsor of Savior's Day for giving $1,000 donation. And when if you look at Islam, a lot of times people, I think I've heard the saying, I don't know if it's actually in the Quran, in the actual surahs, but it says like charity gets rid of a multitude of sins.
Mm-hmm.
And the nation's not going to say no to your money,
Mm-hmm.
you know, but at the same time, they're not going to claim you as a member just because you you have been around. That's not the way it works.
Well, I'll say this, man. I say this, man. If you send us $1,000, you're a member of the Ranters Union for life. I don't care what you do.
I'm telling you.
That's hilarious.
I'll claim you. I won't claim what you did. I won't claim what you did, but I'll be like, yeah, he was a member. He was a member.
Yeah, it takes
he or she was a member. Good.
Yeah, but it takes the same way with anything else that you're gonna claim to be a member of. You're gonna still, you know, take some lumps and not take some lumps, but yeah, exactly.
All right, so Lovell says you have to attend meetings, then write your letter in cursive to Farad Muhammad, then send it to the NOI headquarters to get approved. And Virginia Sim
I
says,
don't know if I can even still write in cursive. I haven't done that in a while. I have a quick question though. Schoolboy, like, well, anybody who knows it, this is gonna sound ignorant. To be a part of the Nation of Islam, is that different from being a Muslim?
Yes.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think it's different from being a Muslim. It depends on your interpretation of Islam, and that's what it comes down to. And for me, I feel like that's a more personal journey with God that I don't want to interfere with other people. So, yeah, no, I would say that if you are in the Nation of Islam, you can claim to be a Muslim. Just like
real Muslims, like
you see, when people talk about real Muslims, they also they neglect to talk about the type of slavery that's going on in these so-called Muslim countries, the type of depravity that's going on in these Muslim countries, the type of sinning that's going on in these Muslim countries, and they're talking about real Muslims. Where people in the Nation of Islam, that's not their culture. You know what I mean?
But yeah, but the Muslims overseas, they don't acknowledge the Nation of Islam like
that's
that.
also not true, because the Nation of Islam went on a global tour around the world when they were recognized by multiple heads of state.
Some don't recognize it.
Multiple heads of state. So you know, you can go all through. The issue is that the same way the Nation of Islam is respect. If the Nation of Islam has respect in the United States of America, they can get respect outside the United States of America.
good point. Virginia Sim says, if media keeps up the narrative that the nation was involved, can they sue for defamation? For what I'm to understand about defamation is if you lose business. I don't know how that translates to a religious organization or apostolistic organization, but I assume that if they claim that they lost membership or something like that, you know, possibly. But I'm no lawyer. Virginia Sim says, it's funny how white dudes are lone wolves, but they immediately try to tie black people to groups. With that being said, really quick, I read that, I forget the agency, but the people who actually deem people to be hate groups. Maybe you can remind me of the name of that organization, but they deemed the NOI. They said they deemed the NOI a hate group. And I'm gonna go ahead and find the name of that organization. Do you think that's a rightfully so, or do you think that's just because of naturally who they are? I'll start with you, Schoolboy.
I think, are you talking about the Southern Poverty Law Center or Southern?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
So they will designate. I don't understand how they're going to designate the Nation of Islam a hate group. Because again, when was the last time you were encouraged to hate somebody based on something somebody in the Nation of Islam said?
Or even to do something about it, right?
Right. The Nation of Islam, if anything, I would say is more so of a self-help organization for Black people. If you go to the Nation of Islam, you can pretty much understand that you're not going to be abused by these people because that's not their brand. You know what I mean? They're not going to send you back into the community saying, "Oh, I've been abused by the Nation of Islam." No. Here, what do you need help with? Here you go. Let me help you out with that.
And also, they don't believe in carrying firearms, correct?
At all. No. They said not as much as a penknife. But I mean, I feel like people who are familiar with Malcolm X remember that they always made the point that they always made the point, and it's the same thing in Islam. That's why I say you can't really say that these people aren't Muslims. They talk about taking a defensive posture when it comes to going to war with people. You know, that's literally a jihad. They're just saying apply that principle to yourself. Don't go out here trying to fight people out of the blue. When somebody fights with you, fight with them. That makes sense.
All right. Let me go on to the rest of these comments. Let me see. Mohammed Extra Claus says, agree, Schoolboy, but a lot of people want to speak in absolute, so let weirdos tell it. Simply because we're Black, we've all had legal issues, even though we've never received a ticket. And that's when you talked about most people not going to prison. Is your hand raised, J-Dog, or you just...
No, I was rubbing my hand, thinking about some money.
Some money, yeah, no doubt. HB2N says, yeah. I think the question when you asked Mimi if they were separate, something like that. Pressure says, salute to y'all in here. Salute to my guy, Pressure. Mills Lane says, NOI benchmarks. Sell 20 bean pies. Sell 50. Sell 50 final calls and create a cologne. Oh, my God.
And get a bow tie.
And Sleazy Aki says a big difference. So I'm agree with Sleazy Aki. There is a difference, but it's out. But if you join the NOI, you're definitely going to consider yourself a Muslim. And like Schoolboy said, there are going to be people who consider you a Muslim across the world as well. But it's almost like a sector, like how Christianity has different sects. You know what I mean? It's kind of like that. You know what I mean?
The issue you have to remember is that the Nation of Islam is introducing the concept of Islam to a people, their audience, of people who have no idea about what the hell's going on. When the Nation of Islam starts in the early 1900s, damn near 100 years ago, Black people had only been to church, and if you look at they were just coming off the slave Bible. You realize we had a literal slave Bible in this country that excluded all the parts about Israel getting free and stuff like that, and talked about subservience. So we found out about that relatively recently, right? But the Nation of Islam was trying to introduce those people to Islam. The initial iteration of the Nation of Islam's doctrines, their practices, et cetera, came out of that. So they're trying to get people. Even look at their biggest meeting is on Sunday when people are in church. They're like, okay, you've been going to church. You don't have to change your time and all that, and y'all want to eat afterwards and all that. Cool. You can come into the mosque on the Sunday and still have your service. I remember when I was in Atlanta in the early-ish 2000s, they had a choir. They actually had a choir in the mosque. That relatively unheard of, but I get it.
Let's keep it on the slave Bible thing real quick. It's a little bit going that I found, so let's just go ahead and play that.
Washington's Museum of Inside Washington's Museum of the Bible, a single volume that is like no other. The so-called Slave Bible, Remarkable not for what's in it, but for what's not.
So about 90% of the Old Testament's been removed and about 50% of the New Testament's been removed. To put it another way, a normal King James Version has 1,189 chapters in it. The Slave Bible has only 232.
Missing are chapters and verses that might have encouraged uprisings. Book of Exodus, redacted. No story of Moses demanding Pharaoh, let my people go. Gone is Galatians, and the verse, there is neither bond nor free, for ye are all one in Christ Jesus. And no Jeremiah, woe unto him that useth his neighbor's service without wages.
What they've left in are verses such as Ephesians 6:5, which is the famous verse, slaves be obedient to your master.
Looking at this Bible, it's hard to tell that anything's been taken out of it.
That's correct. I mean, it looks like a normal book. For many enslaved Africans, this would have been the first time they were exposed to the Bible.
A Bible selectively edited to instill obedience, using religion to underpin the horror of slavery. When people encounter this exhibit, what lasting impression do you want them to leave with?
But we want to pass the message on that may this never happen again. The Bible itself is a whole book. It's not one that you get to carve up and use this piece or that piece.
The slave Bible designed to repress rebellion, but it didn't work. Enslaved people in the Caribbean constantly fought against slavery until emancipation.
I think it's very relevant to understand our history, not just American history, but our African American history, our roots and how we got to this point.
A dark chapter in the history of the good book. Jeff Bennett, NBC News, Washington.
All right, so that was a reference to the slave Bible Schoolboy spoke of. Let me get to some of these comments really quick. HB2N says, NOI believes in Yakub. Yakub being the story of a man who created the white man. About the man who created.
Kind of got that Yakubian head, you know.
No, I did have a question for Schoolboy, because I heard you mention Derek Chauvin. Did you keeping up with the trial?
Oh yeah, man. I'll be watching it like it's a soap opera. It's really interesting to me.
Did you see the part where they showed the video and people testified that his knee wasn't on his neck?
Can we wait till we finish the comments and then we can move the topic on? We can do that. And then y'all can talk about that next. So we still on the Civil War report. HB2N says NOI believes in Yakub. And when Schoolboy says the Yakub head that he speaks about, this is a picture of what they believe Yakub would look like, because he's supposed to have many brains. You know what I mean? Something like that, right, Schoolboy? Yeah.
Just like me. I'm working with 2 brains right now.
Yeah, and Sunflower Sky says, write in cursive. She's laughing at that. Mohammed Shakur says, Virginia Slim, they can sue for defamation. Whether they win or not is up in the air. CZ Aki says, NOI is the black version of Islam. And Lorvell says, Schoolboy is the black version of Islam. Come on, they teach that the black man is God in the NOI. Pressure says, salute to Mimi F. back in black. And Lorvell says, what up, Pressure? Ravioli says, that is highly unlikely. Devils at high levels rarely expose other devils at high levels. That's why state and church are separate, in my opinion. Definitely in your opinion. State and church is separate because it was a power struggle always, since state and church were struggling for power in Europe. HB2N says, I'm sure Malcolm thought the same thing. Schoolboy laugh out loud. Do you want to respond to that? Because I think he's saying that.
I don't know what he's talking about. Thought the same thing about what?
Not the non-violent, but the not carrying weapons, etc.
Well, again, if they were carrying weapons, then they would not have been under the dictates of the Nation of Islam, because the Nation of Islam doesn't carry weapons. Maybe they were contractors. I don't know.
All right. Virginia Sim says they claim the nation is anti-Semitic. That's why they call it a hate group. Good point.
Oh, that's right. That we got off the point of why they're calling them a hate group.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they call them anti-Semitic for some stuff that the minister said, 30 years ago now?
All right. Pressure says Malcolm had the AK while peeking from behind the curtains. We need both knowledge and guns. And I think that would be after Malcolm was no longer with the NOI. He was no longer with the NOI when that picture was taken. Mills Lane says NOI members be bow tie shaming me, saying I be jacking they swag. Well, they don't have a monopoly on bow ties, Mills Lane. Feel free to wear your bow tie, man. I know you're in Philadelphia, but feel free, brother. Laurel says at Fisk University they have a slave Bible as well. Interesting. And Muhammad says Laurel is still there behind the display case next to shackles. And let me see. Precious said J Doug comment ? And J Doug will be
Yeah,
back.
he had much to say on this, and I actually thought that little documentary was fascinating. Like, I'm about to go send that to my friends.
Amaz William says, of course they let that shit in. Of course they left that shit in their Bible. And Mom says, I think I still have pictures from when I used to go there. He also says Yakub was a scientist. Yeah, and Keenan Collins says Grand Wizard J Doug should bring the slave Bible back. And Ahmad is laughing. And Virginia Sim says Slave Doug is going to say the owners did the right thing with that Bible. HB2N says who? And
go ahead. I was just gonna say one thing, that the slave Bible didn't go anywhere, because they said that 90% of the Old Testament was taken out, and a lot of other stuff that should have been talked about wasn't talking about. I've been to church in the South. That's where they preach from. They don't go into the Old Testament like that. Most people you talk to who say they're Christians don't know nothing about the Old Testament.
And that's exactly what I'm finna say. They don't preach freedom in the church right now, and they got the whole Bible. They don't tell the people how to be free. They give you just enough so your black ass come back and spend some more money, and they let you sing and dance. So now that you got the real Bible, you still not preaching the truth anyway, so people can be free. So what does it matter? What's the difference?
All right. Sunflower Sky says the separation of church and state is a myth. They go hand in hand. It's not a myth. It's a power struggle that they always had. You know what I mean? Do they know how to work together? Of course, but it's also a power struggle that they always had. So when you have two strong people with two strong powers, well, not two strong people, but when you have two strong entities that are strong, a lot of times they find a way to work with each other, but that don't mean they're still the same, right? So, for example, when the French and the Spanish was fighting for the island that they renamed Hispaniola, right? Eventually they say, you know what? They did some sort of a treaty and said, you know what? The French, you take this part and we'll keep this part, right? That don't mean they're the same. That means they found a way to work with each other to just not keep the fighting so, going on, but they still not the same thing. So, the church and the state has always had a power struggle. And you see it today. You know what I mean? You can still see it today with the church fighting for certain things and then politicians fighting for certain things and the church still having to have their own lobbyists and things of that nature, right? So JJ says they've been taking books out of the Bible. That's why the Apocrypha was made. Facts. And HB2N says Biden was sworn in on the slave Bible. Scott says definitely. And Laurel says HB2N, his new name is Jim Crow Joe.
But I want y'all to notice how they make everything emotional. The slave Bible. Ooh, like it was a special Bible written for slaves. It's a regular Bible with pages cut out. That's it. It's a regular Bible.
Literally.
I can go make a slave Bible right now and just cut out some pages.
Yeah.
That's not. I can't go. It wasn't a place where people were manufacturing slave Bibles.
Somebody was, because when was the last time you put that shit together? Somebody actually produced it.
Yeah, produced it and gave it to black people. Yes.
That's a fact. But with that being said, you were asked to give us an update on the trial. So Schoolboy, feel free to give us an update on the trial now.
No, I want to go with the line. I want to hit him with this line of questioning real quick. So you did see the trial?
Yeah.
So you did see the part where they showed the video where they said that the knee was on the shoulder and everybody testified that the knee was on the shoulder? Yes.
No, I didn't. I didn't see everybody say that the knee.
Not everybody, but you've seen people testify and say, yes, the knee was on the shoulder.
Yeah, there's somebody.
Did you see the video?
They were talking about the perspective. The camera only catches the perspective that it sees. So it's that depending on where you were in the situation is what you would have seen.
But when you saw the video, do it look like his knee was on the neck, or do it look like his knee was on the shoulder?
Is your neck connected to your shoulders?
I'm asking, do it look like the knee was on the neck, or do it look like the knee was on the shoulder?
I'm saying that a knee it can cover both shoulders and neck.
I'm talking about from the video you saw with the video that they showed, because the
Yeah.
video that they showed, it wasn't nowhere near the neck to me. But I'm asking you, did you see it on the shoulder or did you see it on the neck? Not what it can be. I'm talking, what did you see?
If I'm in the jury, that nigga's going to jail, bro.
No, but man, you ain't
That's
answering the
all I'm
question.
saying.
Did you see the knee on the shoulder, on the neck? Be honest.
No,
Don't.
I seen it on the neck. I seen it on the
No,
neck.
but I
And the
say
shoulder.
when the video on the other video, did you? When
Yeah.
other people testified, they say they saw it on the shoulder. Did you see what they saw?
I saw it on the neck and the shoulder.
Neck and the shoulder.
Yeah. I mean, he neck and shoulder.
Can we pull the still shot up then?
I hope so.
Shut up. Pull the
You need
still
to
shot
find
up,
a link.
Logic.
You need to find a link to show us what you're talking about.
You
'Cause I
said
don't
you've been keeping up with the trial, right?
Yes.
So you have seen the people testify that said the knee was on the shoulder. You seen that?
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that I have the same understanding as them.
Okay, but you seen that
people
though.
say
Okay.
Yeah, I've seen but I've also seen people say
But
that they thought that George Floyd was resisting arrest. That's not what I saw. I saw the same video they saw, and I didn't see that.
But some people say it was on the shoulder. The video that I seen, I didn't see this before, but I just so happened to see it when they were doing the trial. And when people were testifying, even the police chief said, yeah, the knee was on his shoulder. That's it.
All right, so look, man. J Doug, I don't know if you're trying to get canceled or you don't want the people to fuck with you at all. You know what I'm saying?
But I'm just talking about that's the truth, ain't it?
No, it's not the truth. But I hear I hear you can have your opinion and all that.
I didn't have an opinion, man. I'm talking about the case. Why we gotta glance over stuff just because it don't fit our narrative?
Nobody's not glancing over nothing. I didn't even get to get my full point out, which was that I don't know if you're trying.
What did I say to get canceled?
You're trying to insinuate that the knee was not on the neck because
I'm talking about the case because they
don't talk over me. You're trying to insinuate it wasn't on his neck, right? Because that was their defense. So you're going with the narrative of the defense. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying to you as a co-host of the same show, I don't know if you're trying to get canceled when everybody's emotional about this shit and people can watch the video and see that the knee was on the neck. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you're trying to, but I have the video as you asked. Most people did not want to see it in the chat. You know what I mean? However, this is the knee. That is his head. Under his head is something called a neck.
That's one angle. I can't really tell what's going on.
All right.
Yeah, it do look like that.
All right, but with all that being said, right? With all that being said, what you're bringing up is what they brought up as a defense. That doesn't.
We're talking about the trial.
That doesn't make the defense true, right? I'm just responding to your
But you didn't show the video that they showed in the trial. That's the one I'm talking about, where they showed the video at a different angle. This is what the trial showed. This ain't nothing that J Doug making up. And Schoolboy can testify. This is what the trial showed. They showed a different angle. I'm showing one angle. I'm talking about the other angle.
I don't need to see another angle, bro.
See, that's what I'm saying. You have to see all the facts. It's not just about what you want to see that fits your narrative. They're gonna put listen. They're gonna put out the whole case.
Hold on.
That's why we have a trial to get all the facts out.
Here's the thing about that theory. Oh, well, if you're looking from this angle, it looks like it's on the neck. Well, if you're looking from this angle, it looks like it's on the shoulder. But that knife cuts both ways. So you can't say that because
I'm not saying anything.
Okay.
I'm just talking about the trial.
Here's the thing.
I didn't say either. I'm just asking, did you see that? That's it. From what a video that they showed me on the trial, it did look like from that video, you can testify. I said it looked like he was on his knee and his neck and his shoulder. It looked like he was more leaning towards his shoulders to me on that angle of the video. That's it. I got eyes. I can see. I'm not in denial. I'm not emotional about it.
So that's the point I was gonna make, just to level set. What in J Doug's line of questioning and fairness, it more so just sounded like a deposition. Like, and that's how lawyers question. You sounded like a straight up, like, what are the facts that you saw? X, Y, and Z. Just knowing reading the room, which I know, J Doug, you don't care about, or it's perceived that you don't care about, it is very polarizing, because at the end of the day, whether it's on his knee or his neck, a man died unrightfully so. link that to the conversations that we even have about prison. Link that to your thoughts around slavery, whether they're jokes or they're not, like with emotions running high. That's, I think, just something to be considered. But zooming out, I see how you're you were just asking questions. Where you
I
were going
didn't
to
make any definite statements.
wait. Don't talk over me. Where you're going to end is unknown, but I would assume people are linking all of your thoughts together, and this is a very touchy subject for Black people, and whether
Well,
you want to be
listen,
Black whether you want to be Black or not right now, most of the people who are watching us and the rest of the panel in the show stand on the side of Blackness for this. So that's it.
okay, that's fine. Listen, I didn't make any definite statements. When the case broke, I was downtown getting pepper spray in my eyes, doing things and protesting for George Floyd, which I don't agree with doing right now because I didn't have all the information that I needed at that moment. But still, I was there and I will support. And I'm just talking about the case. That's it. I know Black people don't like to have a conversation that's honest. Fine, I don't care, but it's just a conversation. I asked about the case. Did you see it? I didn't say it was on the shoulder too, boy. I didn't say, did you see what the people testified and said? It was multiple people testified and said, yeah, it looked like it was on the shoulder. I know, but I'm just wondering why we just glanced by this certain stuff. Yeah, somebody died, but we have to figure out the real reason why he died. You know what I mean? The real reason. And you can't believe everything that your eyes show you, because the eyes is very deceiving.
Hold on. You're gonna try to tell us, right?
Because y'all love science into it.
Let me ask a question though.
I see. The thing is, come on, man. Can I say one thing? You let us talk like 10 minutes. Can I talk for a second?
You can't.
Y'all talk about science, but when they started bringing the science and it's not for what y'all want to use it for, it don't matter.
That's not science. If anything, that's the science of filmography. Like if you look at it, if you point a camera this way at something, it looks different from if you point a camera from this way.
Well, I'm not talking about that particular thing, but I'm saying that's the purpose of the trial, to see the true scientific reason.
No, it's not
what happened.
It's not. It's about legal. Because if it's scientific, do you know? We gotta.
But they gotta get the science to figure out the legality.
How the fuck do you always act like niggas don't let you talk, but you talk over people? I don't get it, bro.
Have you ever? Right. So have you ever? Do we know about jury nullification? Like, what is that? The jury nullification. Jury nullification is when the jury is presented with the law and given jury instructions to follow the law, and the jury decides to do the opposite anyway because they're the jury and they have that right. That's jury nullification. You do everything right by the book and everything, and the jury comes in that mother and be like, okay, cool, not guilty.
Yeah, but the science is going to tell us what happened. Then we can figure out what was the charges and everything. Yes, he deserved to go to jail. I'm not saying let the man free. Somebody died up under his watch. Let's figure out what happened, though.
I'm sorry, J-Dub, you're saying talk about the science, bro. And it's not that part right there is not science.
But I'm just saying, there's going to be science that come out.
Simple example to that is cover this eye and then cover that eye, and you're going to see things from a different perspective. The basis of this is, it don't matter which angle you saw, this man was applying pressure to another man, and now it's a result of this. That part shouldn't have happened. I think that's where you're getting tripped up. And I'm not saying like you're wrong for like being factual, because like I get that. I'm just, when you talk about science and then emotion, those are two different things, and you're mixing science with an emotional conversation right now. And I'm not saying you're wrong for it. I'm just saying, like,
I don't have any emotional conversations, though.
No, where you're having it with people who are passionate about certain things that you aren't passionate about. And that's fine. You can stand on that rock.
No, it's not. Yeah, I'm not.
But you know what? You know what? What's happening right now is that they're bringing the scientists out, like Jay was talking about. But they're bringing scientists out, and they're looking at what were the pills that he had. And one that stands out to me is Suboxone, if I'm not mistaken. That's how you say it. And it's something that people would use if they were detoxing from opioids. So his ex-girlfriend's already testified that he was on opioids. The other guy who was in the car has already pleaded the fifth. He's not going to incriminate himself. And now they have the investigators looking in the vehicle, and they're saying, well, yeah, we found pills, and some of them had meth in them, some of them had fentanyl, and they're saying that he's taking Suboxone, and they tested it for saliva to see if he actually had it in his mouth, and they're saying that, yeah. And I'm just like, I don't know, man. Like, I'm trying to figure out, are they saying that when he got it, when they saw the cops come up, he just started throwing this shit in his mouth? Is that what they're trying to say? Because some of the stuff was open, some of it wasn't. But somehow they found his blood and pills that had his saliva on it in the back seat of the squad car. You know, so it's
There's a lot of stuff that's coming out.
Going on, bro.
There's a lot of stuff that's coming out that you just have to pay attention to. It's just not every time. It's not a time to be emotional. When you're emotional, you can't see the truth when it's in front of you.
But
I absolutely agree with you. Sorry. Okay. Sorry to interrupt. I actually absolutely agree with you that like there's a balance of like emotion and facts. The thing is, and so I'm gonna like move away from the case because this is just like very isolated and polarizing at the same time. But in a different example, but same kind of scenario, man gets in trouble with the law for whatever reason or whatever, and then it comes out, like things that just have nothing to do with the case. Oh yeah, when he was in 10th grade, he stole a pencil from his classmate. Oh, this thing came out for this. Like at the end of the day, I feel like I can speak for a lot of Black people where it should be, these kind of cases, not only George Floyd, but the ones before, should be open and shut. There's always these investigations, and then we come to the same result over and over again. So I feel the frustration with a lot of Black people is we shouldn't even be having to go through all this science and all this. Like the cameras should be enough to put people in jail, because the cameras are enough for us to get shot in the street, like Ahmaud Arbery. And why do we even have to go through trial? Why does it have to be this long drawn out process so then people can get off? And I can't help you. I can't make you see that if you want to like make it factual. But I just pray like nothing. God forbid nothing ever happens to you, because like you are actually with us. That you look like us, you present like us, but it's almost like I don't know if it's sensational, whatever. You're good for TV. I'll just say that.
This is what I'm saying. We can't talk about we should just look at the videos and roll with that and just start throwing people in jail. Because Black people feel like that, you're gonna be some white people say, yeah, let's do that to Black people too. We ain't gonna even give them a trial. We just feel like that, let's throw them in jail. So we can't just have it teetering one way and call that fair.
I didn't say trial. I said these long drawn out process for things that are very evident.
But that works in people of all color favor sometimes too when they do stuff wrong. So we can't switch up the system. It works in your favor, it's good. When it don't work in your favor, it's bad. That's not that don't make sense. The system.
I never said that, but I said what I said. I'm done talking on this because I'm not making sense out of nonsense.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm done too, because I don't want to talk about that if everybody's so emotional.
I feel like you're accusing people of being emotional when
she said it's she said.
Thank you for cutting me off and proving my point. Thank you for cutting me off and proving my point.
She said y'all was emotional. I didn't say that. She said you talking to people that's emotional about it. I'd say I don't want to talk about it if y'all emotional.
She said that after you said it a few times.
No, she did not. I never said y'all was emotional. I did say some people get emotional when they got to talk about the fact. And then she said, yeah, because you're talking to an audience that's emotional and you talking to some panel members that's emotional. And I say, if y'all emotional, we don't have to talk about it.
Mimi did say that, but once again, you did bring up emotion first. But
not referring to y'all. If y'all are emotional, we don't have to talk about it.
I don't really care who it's referring to. The point is, a lot of the things that you're bringing up is really to just go with your narrative. And I don't think you're really looking at it objectively neither. Is what
I'm not. Listen, I didn't give a narrative, Logic. I asked Schoolboy some questions. That's it.
You
I
did.
didn't give a opinion.
Because in that line of question, you basically also said that you believe you saw the knee on the
I
shoulder.
said in that video that they showed, it looked like the knee was on the shoulder. Yes, that's what I said. The video that they showed in court, not the video that you showed. And he said it too. He said it looked like he was on his knee, his shoulder, and his knee. We're talking about the case.
And we
That's what they showed.
Yeah, and we're past it.
What my opinion is that. Well, I'm saying anything. Like I say, we don't gotta talk about it if y'all emotional.
Well, nobody got loud with you. Everybody stuck to the points. You know what I'm saying? And you once again you brought up emotional first. And it does seem that you was trying to push a narrative.
I wasn't.
And when you talk about the case being in our favor, y'all favor, as if we are the jury, as if they find this man guilty, it's in our favor, not as.
I didn't say that. I said y'all don't want to hear stuff that match y'all narrative. That's what I said. I didn't say nothing about y'all favor.
Once again, however, I may be paraphrasing, but you're basically making it seem like if justice happened is in our favor, as if it's not in your favor. And when you speak about trials and how she brung up that they make it drawn out and they're trying to bring up, which we see, they're bringing up a lot of bullshit that has nothing to do with the fact that this man killed this guy in front of our eyes, right? They're bringing up a lot of bullshit like that matters.
But they do that in every trial.
Right. But also, if you know the law, you will know that everybody's subjected to supposedly having a speedy trial.
But listen to the thing, but if they bring up something, they could bring up things that's good about your past and that works in your favor in the trial too. Should we do away with that?
They could bring up stuff that's good in your
past. Not just not the bad.
If your character is part of the questioning, you know what I'm saying? But if your character is not part of the question, if you're not even the one on trial,
they consider your character when they sentence you
on trial. Your character shouldn't be in question. If you're the one who's passed away, your character is not the question.
Well, they're not questioning the character. They question what was in his body at the time.
The character that should be questioned is the police.
That wasn't questioning the character, Logic. They questioned the chemical that was in his body at the time he passed away. That's not character. That reflects your character, but that's not questioning your character.
We haven't gotten to the autopsy yet.
Yeah, but that's what they questioning.
Oh, just an example, like I think this is how this is, the science versus this, right? Like, say someone was like doing whatever drugs, right? Like they're doing crack, but then they go into a store and they get shot and they die, and that person's on trial. I think at the end of the day, it didn't matter if they did crack. Like if they was going to overdose on crack, let that be that. But we're like mixing the two, and that is what is frustrating to a lot of people in the Black community. And yes, you are correct. I did use emotion. I don't think any of us on this panel are. Well, I'm only going to speak for myself, actually. I'm not following this case just because I just don't like this energy. Like, and I hope that, pray for the family and like good things come and justice comes. That's where I am. So I don't think you're wrong, because you truly answered it. You would be a great lawyer. Like you'd be great in a deposition. It's just a blend of all those other things layered on that this isn't new in America and this isn't new for Black people. So I think that's just the point.
Well, when a crackhead gets shot, we can obviously see that if the bullet killed them, that's clear. That's an absolute. But when we try to figure out what stops your breathing, and in defense, you have to say, well, the knee on the neck didn't stop his breathing. It's got to be figured out. That's all I'm saying. But I don't know.
So where are you? Let's put you on the.
I don't have an opinion on it. I'm waiting till all the facts come out.
You asked Schoolboy, did he see the video about, did he see the angle and the fact that the defense was trying to say it was on his shoulder, like people still can't die from asphyxiation with knees on their back. You asked that question like it fucking matters, because obviously you can die both ways. But where are you with the fact that the science came out on the autopsy?
I'm telling you exactly what I'm at. I'll wait till all the facts come out. Then
where are you on the fact that the science, remember the science?
Mm-hmm.
Where are you on the fact that the science in the autopsy says he died from asphyxiation? Where are you on that?
I don't have an opinion right now. You know, I don't have an opinion. I'm just waiting to see.
Oh, okay. Slim says, facts, Muhammad, death by asphyxiation. Muhammad says, by the way, there's also an autopsy report. Dieris says, J. Doug does not use science. Dieris also said, this nigga's not a scientist. HB2N says, science says he died from pressure on his back, which stopped his breathing, not knee on the neck. Virginia Slim says, the autopsy report is science, my G. Sunflower Sky says, educate yourself on jury nullification. HB2N says, it does matter what angle. It was 3 other cops on top of Floyd. Sunflower Sky says, exactly, Rav. Rav said, J. Doug, I think it's a good idea for you to ask these questions because many of our people find themselves in these very predicaments. Those things do matter in the court of law. Let him speak. Even though we did let him. Go ahead. Go ahead, Mimi.
And that's my point. Even so, going back to the prison, we don't get this thorough of an investigation either. We just get the book thrown at us and we're, under the jail. And then let's not also, and I'm not saying this is the case, but you're like, oh, I'm going to wait for more reports, which I respect. You're basically paraphrasing your answers. I don't have enough information to properly answer this question. Totally fine. But let's not pretend that if someone really wanted to, or whatever the agenda is, that they can't skew autopsy reports, they can't skew evidence to lead towards whatever narrative that the one with the most power can make, which has historically been police officers in the government. So
I understand that, but it was a big social push and a lot of pushback from media, and that could have helped screw the autopsy report too. So yeah, we got to get the facts out. A lot of stuff that was going on, people was emotional at the time, and they were doing things out of emotion. So now it's time to clean all that emotional mess up and see what's going on in a logical way.
Muhammad says, Mimi, he's not with us. Ahmad says, facts. There's acting like there's not a clear-cut video of him killing him. Shit is crazy. The trial should have been 2 days for guilty and sentencing. HB2N says, Mimi making this argument personal. No, she wasn't. Virginia Slim says, how do you think he died, J. Doug? Do you hear the official reports during the trial? Really quick, I just want to shout out Lord Vel for sending us the healthy donation. Appreciate you, brother. Dieris says, it's not emotional. Your opinion is not rooted in science or sense.
I didn't give an opinion. I didn't give an opinion. Why y'all see, y'all be assuming that y'all already know that, he automatically gonna be against black people. So yeah, he talking about George Floyd, he against us. No, I didn't give an opinion. I asked Schoolboy some questioning and I see how y'all think of me. But move on.
Yo, listen, man. I definitely let you speak. And by letting you speak, you know what I'm saying, you prove most of our points on your own. So, salute to you. Muhammad Shakur says, Mimi said passionate. Virginia says, most of the audience isn't emotional. We're going off the facts and evidence presented. This is definitely not an emotional audience and or show.
I never accused her of that. I didn't say that though. I didn't accuse her.
That was me. That was me. So okay.
Muhammad Shakur says being passionate and emotional aren't always synonymous. And Miss Rav says, or Ravioli, says black people need law lessons, which I agree. And Chris Jones.
and so does the law. They also need law lessons.
Facts. Chris Jones says, yeah, but how are they saying that they finding these drugs in the car and there's multiple drugs at that? And now they're saying that George Floyd said that he took too many drugs while he was being arrested.
Let me just throw this out there about all these different pills they keep finding in the car. And this is the thing. They did the investigation when it happened. Then they came back and then went back in the vehicle in like January and did some more investigating, grabbing stuff off the floorboards. And my thing is, when they ran up on him, had he just stuffed a bunch of pills in his mouth? Why is it that all these pills that are coming out his pocket or wherever they came from are just falling out his mouth and they had been licked on? Like, I don't know. I've taken pills before. I'm not, one to lick a pill and put it in my pocket.
But no matter what, it's like if his destiny was to die of an overdose from pills, like that should have stood alone. We shouldn't even be talking about another human person applying force. Like it shouldn't be a part of, theoretically it shouldn't be a part of the conversation because like the rest should have been handled differently.
Sky says, what was the official cause of death according to the autopsy? And they answered that. Sky also says, J Doug playing 10 man, pay attention. 10th man, pay attention. Snuggle says, anger is an emotion. Happy is an emotion. Sad is an emotion. Being passionate is an emotion. Please stop saying people are being emotional. People convey with emotions and everything. It's only being human. Fair enough. Good point. Muhammad Extra Core says Sunflower, he died from asphyxiation, which we said earlier. HB2N says, I feel like people only have sympathy and understanding when it comes to a dead black man, not a living one. And I mean, you know what? That definitely gets more press. You know what I mean? I've definitely been to a lawyer with one of the homies of mine who they dragged him out of a house where he was staying as a guest because he wouldn't open the door of somebody else's home, and they arrested him wrongfully, let him out the back door, never fully charged him or anything, just kidnapped him for a minute, you know what I'm saying, and then let him go, didn't charge him with anything, just to spite him and everything. And when we went to the lawyers that handle some important cases, I'm not gonna put them out there right now, one of the things they were honest about was if somebody didn't die, they don't really care. So when it comes to these big lawyers and some of these clout chasing, politicians and activists, sometimes, yeah, it can seem that way. But I don't think that's the case to the average person. So if I know for a fact, if I know my boy Schoolboy, he calls me up and say, yo, I just been kidnapped, creator forbid, by the police for a few hours, I'm going to give a fuck. I'm not going to need him to die, have a broken arm, none of that shit. I'm going to give a fuck. I think that, some other people on the panel would give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? I think the other people who know him would give a fuck. But we can't pretend that what the media does and what the clout chasing activists and or politicians do is representative of the majority of us. We can't go with that narrative neither. You know what I'm saying? Mom Extra Cause says he basically suffocated, which ties into Mr. Floyd saying that he couldn't breathe. And Virginia Sims says facts, HB2N. Sunflower Sky says, see, asphyxiation, now I'm saying it so much, I'm saying it wrong, is caused by injury to airway, end of story. So it should be end of story then. It should be that we obviously seen that he was murdered. But at the same time, people want to play semantics and they want to have a long drawn out court case, especially with it being in the public eye. Sure. But like Mimi said, I don't have much interest in watching the trial day by day, to be honest. I'm not looking for the little holes in anybody's story to say, well, maybe he shouldn't be charged with murder, or maybe it was an accident. I'm not looking for any of that. I'm just looking for a guilty charge, a guilty conclusion. So, at the end of the day, we saw what it was. We know how he died. We know who was responsible. We know whose custody he was in. You know what I mean? We know the fact that he should have been safe in their custody, and in turn, he was murdered. So I'm just looking for the outcome. Mimi?
Yeah, and I'm not saying you implied this earlier, but when you talked about I protested, but then if I would have known more information, I wouldn't have done that. If that was an implication of, he was a sex worker, he was I'm actually tired of people adding that to the story as if what he did and who he was means he is more or less worthy than being alive. That's not fair to dehumanize him because of the choices that he made. No one deserves to die that way, that maliciously, and not be acknowledged, or be acknowledged on a lower rate than some of the other people who've died by the hands of the police, or people who get murdered or killed by anyone because they're X, Y, and Z are deemed lower on the class poll.
And I think it also goes to the fact that earlier you said you wasn't stating any opinions, but by saying things like that. People, we're not stupid. Nobody's stupid. We all read the subtext. You know what I'm saying? So when you say that, you're basically stating where you stand on the situation.
No, but what I meant was I would have waited until I had more information so I could really make a clear and conscious decision. Because I don't make emotional decisions no more in my life. At that time, I was still making decisions off emotion. So now where I'm at in my life, I don't make decisions off emotions at all. I wait to see what until it's clear. I don't make a decision. So now, yes, where I'm at now, if it ain't clear, I'm not putting my life out on the line like that. I could have been hurt out there. I was fighting against the police. You got the video. It's up there. It's up there on the Ranters Union. So like, yeah, I would have waited. That don't mean anything. That just means what I said. You can't add on to what I say to make it feel like you want to put me in a box. No, it's clear what I said.
I didn't.
Now I wouldn't make no decision. And the information was the day I thought would keep your cup half full so you can receive new information. Now we saying don't even fill it up and just keep it there and fuck it. Okay, I get it.
I preface all my statements by saying I didn't say you're implying this. I also and then
Logic keep putting words in my mouth and twisting what I say and bend it and flipping it and assuming. So yes, I just have to correct him because he keep adding on to everything I say. He add his perspective to what he think I'm saying. My interpretation, everything I say is clear. It's nothing to add on to that.
It wasn't clear, sir. It wasn't clear.
You clear now though?
I mean, you cleared up what you said, but I thought I heard you say something different. So I'll leave it. But you said this, what you said. You know, I watch the show after the show is off. I usually tend to watch the whole show. So I'll watch to see if you said that either you said one, like you're saying, that you would wait until the facts come out, or two, did he say he wouldn't have went out there based on what you know now? So
What I know now is I don't make decisions off emotion. This is what I know now. I don't make decisions off emotion. I do my decision making off of logic and calmness. So yes, what I know now. You didn't ask what I know. You just assume again what I know. That's what I know.
So here's the funny thing. Like when I went to the protest, I was like, I'm not really out here to get hit in the face with a rubber bullet. I'm leaving that type of activity for the white people. That's what they belong.
No, I was
y'all
on
get
the
out
front
there
line.
and combat. Yeah, y'all need to be combating the police and law enforcement that want to, not give people civil rights and stuff like that and kill people in the streets and stuff like that. Those are the laws that y'all grandfathers put in place. So y'all should be at the front line and making sure that don't happen to y'all. So appreciate that.
See, y'all, see, when you were back.
I went to Richmond. I went to Richmond though because these folks in Richmond are turned up. And the headquarters of the Daughters of the Confederacy is here in Richmond. And they went straight to that mug and burnt that shit down. And I wanted to see it. So I didn't get all caught up in, pepper spray and none of that crazy shit. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to see, I want to take a few pictures and go home.
And this is what I'm saying. This the difference. See, I'm a frontline soldier. And I might be talking to some backline soldiers. Like you boy said, he was there just to take a picture and stuff. I was actually out there tearing shit up, protesting, going up, standing face to face with police. It's on the Ranters Union. So see, when you a frontline soldier and you in combat and you actually willing to put your life on the line from people, you ain't thinking about what you gonna lose. I ain't got nothing to lose. You ain't thinking about your family. You ain't thinking about nothing. You thinking about it. Let's get justice. When you thinking like that and you a frontline soldier and you possibly could lose your life, yes, from now on, as a frontline soldier, I ain't talking about backline. You can sit there and just be absolute. A frontline soldier is gonna get the information before I lose my life, fight for something that wasn't worth it. Now, if you're a backline soldier, sit there and it's easy to just sit there and say, yeah, he did it, boom, whatever. Because that's all you're gonna do is sit back there. But when you're a frontline soldier, you got to be absolute. You got to be clear on all the facts before you lose your life, and that's just the difference.
Did anybody just
I think
it wasn't worth it. Did anybody just hear that? We just gonna glaze over the fact.
What, did you hear that?
Did you hear him say it wasn't worth it?
No, I didn't hear that.
All right, so let's stick on the front line, back line thing. You know what I'm saying? Schoolboy and I both, based on my conversations with Schoolboy and based on what I know about myself, have been about this. You know what I'm saying? People usually when they first start doing shit, they go to their first protest get a little pepper spray in their mouth, get themselves on the camera. Now all of a sudden they frontline warriors and everybody else is background warriors and all this type of talk. They get all
I ain't say you was a back line, but in this situation, you wasn't on the front line.
And maybe I'm talking to some backline.
That's maybe. You know what? Maybe is, maybe not. I don't know. But this is what I'm saying. You don't understand little words. Maybe I don't know. I'm not clear what you are. You can represent yourself and say, no, I'm a frontline soldier, and that'll be clear to me. I didn't see you on the front line then.
For the record,
So, and he said he was a back line.
I'm not a soldier.
Yeah, this is the thing. I'm not here to prove nothing to nobody. I'm just saying we've been about change.
But if we're gonna fight for justice, we're gonna have to get out there and really fight. Not just talk, but get on the front line. Yeah, you don't have to, but I'm going to.
But what Schoolboy described was not standing in front of no rubber bullets for the sake of saying I was there. What he described was a tactic of saying, you know what? You know what I mean? I'll be about justice, but I'm gonna let the people who are the children of the people who caused this shit, let them fight their family members on how they should move.
That's logical.
That's logical, right? But
that's fine, but you need the people that's the direct descendants of the victim, the same skin color. We need to get out there and fight too. Yeah, it's easy there. Let white mommy and white daddy fight. That's always the solution. Okay,
that's I don't think that's what I heard him say. You know,
I want to make my own little interpretation.
What I heard him say, and you claim that people might be backline soldiers and all this other shit. You know what I mean? Which, you know what I mean? Let's call it what it is. It's like little subliminal slide shots. You might be and all that other funny shit. All I'm here to say is that some of us been putting in work, been protesting, you know what I mean, and did more, and did certain things to get even bills passed and shit like that. So, you know, at the end of the day, I'm glad you had your little experience, but even if people watch the experience, you know what I mean? There was times where you said, I'm getting the fuck up out of here. And there was times, it was times where you even backpedal, even in the shit you were saying. You know, where the new Black Panthers at? Oh shit, they're the new Black Panthers. They was in the video, you said they wasn't there. Like, I watched the video, I streamed it, my nigga. I was watching it. You know what I mean? You said they wasn't there, then
I'm not saying I didn't make no mistakes, but I know you want to point out all my flaws now, but listen. I'm not perfect, and I never claim to be perfect.
No,
yes, I got flaws.
A frontline soldier.
I was on the front line at the time. Yes, was I not? Yes or no? Yes or no? You don't have to be a long drawn out thing. Yes or no? I know you want to discredit, but now we don't want to deal in absolutes now.
I'm responding to how you try to discredit motherfuckers based on us having a different opinion than yours on the panel. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm responding to.
I never discredit anybody. I'm the only one get discredited.
And if I'm gonna keep it, I'm about to double down on that too. Because
I never discredit nobody. I let people say they con me and keep it moving. I don't ever say, hey, look, that don't reflect me. I don't have to discredit nobody. I let people put their opinion out there, and I put mine out there. But I know the truth is like a two-edged sword. It don't just you can't let the truth stay out there. You got to chop it back down. So I understand the process.
It's not about chopping it back down. Listen, I'm responding to your shots you threw as people so-called not being frontline soldiers. And let me just tell you, the front line is not at the fucking protest. I'll just say that. That's not the front line, brother.
It's part of the front line. When you combat against the police, we do need people that are going to challenge the police and get up in their face.
You're going to get in the police face, and that's going to cause what?
Might cause some threatening. Might have to take a shot. Listen, whatever.
That is that
you're a frontline soldier. You're a frontline soldier. I just wasn't aware. You saying you are? I'll give you that. I don't know your history. I don't know your history.
Listen. I'm saying that I've done more than you even know about. I'm not even getting into that. I'm not here. I don't have nothing to prove.
But I wasn't trying to make it a measuring stick.
All this, I might be talking to some people who ain't frontline soldiers and all that shit. That is a shot. You know what I'm saying? And all I'm saying is people, when they finally do some shit, they like to get hype as if they the ones who invented the shit. And what I'm also standing on is the protest is not the fucking front line. You may choose to disagree, that's fine. But that ain't no front line. That ain't get changed. And if you want to take it to the streets, that ain't really taking it to the streets.
Yes, but that wasn't my
face. And when they pepper spraying, is not taking it to the streets.
Listen. That wasn't my first time protesting, and that was my first time getting involved.
That's fine. Mimi, say something. Mimi, what you trying to say?
Yeah. So I think like with the frontline soldier thing, like as you were talking about, because if you wouldn't have told me you protested, that wouldn't have just been something that I would assume you do. So I think like with the frontline soldier, the question for like a lot of people because of like the things that you say on this show is like, but which army? Like, which army are
Listen,
you fighting with?
I'm fighting for the army of right. I'm not basing the army off color. I'm basing it off good and evil, right and wrong. That's it.
And that's fair.
So,
And that's
So
fair.
J Dub, let me ask you a question. You said that maybe it might not have been worth it, or you would have done something differently with different information. And so, in what circumstances would you have, as it relates to the case, what revelations from the case would have made you say, I'm gonna sit this one out?
I haven't got all the facts yet, but I might have not said it out. I just might have would have been a backline soldier. Shit. So I just might have changed my position. I might have just
I don't
would have.
think that, but that it sounds like it don't have nothing to do with the case, though.
It don't have nothing to do with it. It has to something to do with everything. Like I know Mimi say, certain stuff don't make your character, but I look at character, and that's just what I do. Martin Luther King said we should not be judged by the color of our skin, but the content of our character.
But Martin Luther King was somewhat hypocritical, though.
Well, I'm not saying Martin Luther King was perfect and he was man of no flaws. I'm just saying that was a quote. Y'all like history? I just threw your history quote. Now listen, that's how I'm judging people, and that's how I'm dealing with everybody. If I don't approve of the content of your character at all times, then yes, I may not jump on the front line for you, not to say that you was wrongfully killed, but if I don't approve for your content or your character, it's just like y'all, certain things y'all say, boo, y'all don't want to stand by next to certain other people, other culture, because y'all don't approve the content of their historical character. That's fine. It's whatever. It just, I'm judging all people in the present moment, what they do in front of my face. When I get all the information, yes, I will judge you by the content of your character. Not judge you, but I will make my judgment of what I'm gonna do by the content.
Yeah, but I'm gonna just remind everybody also, because we were talking about the trial, that this is not George Floyd's trial, because George Floyd is dead. This is Derek Chauvin's trial. And so the question is, what did Derek Chauvin do? And did his actions constitute a crime?
What I mean, at the end of the day, with police work and stuff, people may die on your hands. That's like you putting life into your hands as a police officer. Let me finish this. I do think as a police officer, if you say, yo, I'm finna go out here and protect and serve, and somebody dies on your hand, we can't just say, yo, we accepted you when you were doing a good thing. That was good. But now you did a bad thing. We don't even want to give you a fair fucking trial.
Well, hold on.
I think we need to give him a fair trial. I think he should do some time. He was obviously wrong, but let's at least get a man a fair trial, because from what he said that he was doing, he put his life on the line for the citizens. I don't know if he was genuine. I don't know if every black person is genuine. I'm not going to assume just because he's white, he's not genuine. And I'm not going to assume just because somebody black, they're not genuine. I'm just going to go around not assuming anything, and I'm just going to wait till the facts come out.
Well, you know what? We were talking about the Old Testament earlier, and there's a story about Moses, and Moses did something that ended up him not getting into the promised land. That was his little trial. He had a real long trial, and at the end of the day, he was found a certain type of way. Derek Chauvin, all right, that's need to go to jail, bro. It's nothing. We've seen the video. I'm not gonna believe that my eyes are lying to me.
No, I understand that.
If George Floyd would have been in that line at the store and he passed out and had a heart attack and died, there's no crime. There's no crime.
And I never said, I just said let the facts come out. And I said, from what it looked like to me, yes, he did something wrong. Obviously, for what it looked like to me. Bro. He need to go to jail. But let's get him in a fair trial, because
he already had a fair trial. He had a fair trial. He had a fair trial already. You know what I'm saying? Like even with all, this is my thing. They spent a good amount of time, maybe an hour and a half, talking about the drugs, right? Because the only thing that the defense has to do is insert reasonable doubt.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
But that's the same thing they're gonna do for everybody. That's how some people go home, and some people go to jail, and the people that come home, we happy that worked for them. But when it's not working in our favor, we can't just throw it away.
Oh no. We're not all happy for them. We're not.
But I mean, some is happy when it works in their favor. But listen,
so the system shouldn't be changed. What you're saying?
No, it should be lax. It shouldn't be softened up. If anything, you need to get tougher.
For the police, it needs to be tougher because they keep getting away with shit. Did you hear about these police officers in I think it was somewhere in New York? Was it Long Island or Staten Island? They're out there killing these women, or allegedly, you know, they got a serial killer up there, and one of the women was found going to one of these officers' house or a house he's associated with, and she ends up dead sometime later. Anyway, we can talk about that another day. But I'm just saying, these police ain't out here shining lights of justice and moral purity. So
of course. They need to be punished too. Police is not God, so they don't expect them to be perfect, but they need to be punished too, and everybody need to be held accountable for what they do that is wrong. That's it. It's no emotion attached to that. Let's hold everybody accountable. That's it.
I think that what the case for me is the build up to what I know should be a guilty verdict. And I also know that this man should do way, way fucking more than 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
I also know that.
As a fact. All right, Sunflower Sky, I read that already. Mills Lane says HB2N. Facts. HB2N says it's more likely he died from the knee on the back, in my opinion, along with the drugs. Lovell says, wow. Extra cause says Sunflower, the causes of asphyxiation can vary, but it usually occurs due to injury, breathing in chemicals, or a blockage in the airway. Let me see. Amaz's algorithm says J Doug getting sensitive. I don't have an opinion. I'm away for all the facts.
Now, how is that sensitive? How is that sensitive? There's people that attach words that don't even make sense. Me wait for the tag to get to be sensitive. Wow.
This whole show is a troll. Trolling the hell out of each other.
Listen, man. I'll say this much: when you keep screaming at people, be thinking or acting or saying things with emotion, and then you the one is
it's not. Y'all get theatrics mixed with emotion. That's just me being theatrical. It's not me. Oh, I'm mad about what they saying. It's theatrics because it's on the show. It's entertainment. That's it. It's theatrics. It's just like what Joe Budden do or anybody else. It's not emotion. I'm not gonna get off the camera and cry. I'll be huffing and puffing by what y'all said. It's just theatrics. That's it.
That's
fine. You know that,
Logic.
You in the business and you don't know that.
But when you also,
I'm asking you though,
when you add those theatrics with shots,
that's still theatrics. It's a podcast.
Yeah, that's fine. But when you add
it's a live show, radio show.
You add it with shots.
We come from Star in the Morning. Now we can't throw shots.
Just like Snuggle said, is all attached to emotions. So acting like you don't have no emotions
it's a form of emotional, but it's not. It's a form of an emotion because emotion is just a broad definition, but it's not the emotional. Like y'all saying, it's not a negative emotion. It's theatrics for a show with no feeling attached to it at all. Not happy, not sad, not mad, not glad, not nothing. It's just theatrics. That's it, with no of those emotions that y'all generalize with attached to it. It's an emotionless theatrics. That's it.
That's fine.
I agree with him. I've told you many times you make great TV.
Yeah.
You still make great TV.
I don't necessarily believe it. I think
because you being emotional then.
No.
And then you want to put it off on me because you projecting.
Because the context of some of the shots makes me feel that there is some type of emotion attached.
Listen, I sit up here to take shots. Mimi call me stupid, ignorant, everything in the book. I get called Doja, everything. I take shots. I can't throw a shot.
Yeah. I actually thought about that the other day. I was like, because if he said some of that shit to me, I need to calm down because it would be a problem. So yeah, that's fair. But what I will say is like,
I don't have no emotion about it. And I want you to keep doing it because it don't bother me. It makes me stronger as a person. I don't want to change nobody, but I don't want nobody to try to change me neither.
That's fine. And no one's trying to change you. Let me just say this. I've never been the one to throw shots at you. So, and I think it's a difference between shots and just and jokes and all that and accusing people of doing what they're not doing. You know what I'm saying? Like acting like motherfuckers is not letting you talk when that's exactly what we do. You know what I mean? I don't let you talk over, but motherfuckers definitely let you talk. No matter how crazy we think the shit may sound or whatever, motherfuckers definitely let you talk. So when you accuse people of not letting you talk and you know what I mean, and everything, and a few other shots that I'm pretty sure I'm going to rehear when I watch it again. You understand what I'm saying? To me, I don't believe you when you say that you have no emotion attached
And
to it.
see, some things too, you think a lot of times in this, what you think, and I noticed too, you think as a comedian, we call stuff a callback to where we'll take something that you said and throw it at the end. See, you think sometimes when I'm doing a callback on something that happened in the prior conversation, you think I threw a shot because I brought back something you said and tied it back in. It's just a callback, man. That's it.
I don't mind shots
I
and jokes.
mean,
When you accuse people of doing what they're not doing, to me, that's
I never accused. I said maybe though. I
You did.
always use the words.
You did. You accused people of doing what we weren't doing, and you even had one or two people in the comments. Well, one person in particular, like Ravioli, who I believe is trolling a little bit, is talking about let J Doug question Schoolboy. Nobody didn't let you talk that, but that was the narrative you spent, that we wasn't letting you talk, that she's piggybacking off of. Yeah,
Well, when I was in my line of questioning, you said cut it off and like, where you trying to go with it? So that was basically like stop the questioning. That's
No.
what the judge just said. If he in the seat, like, yo, where's this going? If it's not going nowhere, I wanted to go stop it.
I didn't stop the
But
question.
that's basically what it was.
I didn't. Mimi, you
No,
trying to say?
we definitely need to have a morning show court. I'm sorry, Mimi. Go ahead.
oh no, all I was gonna say is like honestly, yeah, like so there's a lot of theatrics, but when it boils down to it, I really don't know what you're about because like when I really only reply to the things you say, right? Because I can't tell, and that's why I always say like whatever, you make good TV because I can't tell if you're doing this, which they do in media a lot, like an element of contrast. So you keep the show going, which is a good thing, but it doesn't. I'm just not sure where you stand. So it's like, okay, are you joking about this? Are you making this joke just so we can have like rile up and like have texture and tone to the show, which is cool. Sometimes I guess is it for shock value, or do you really believe that? And then that's where the conversation starts to rant, pun intended.
It's not the say that it's nothing that is what it's set up to be. Everything I say, I believe, and that's all it is to it. Listen,
okay.
It's not me trying to troll nobody. This is the stuff that I just want to wait and see. And by the way, I didn't give an opinion on the situation other than that I would not have took the steps that I did because of what I know now, which have nothing to do with case. It's just a basic thing that I set across for all my decision making. So that's just it. I'm not getting sensitive. I'm just want to wait for the opinion. And if I throw a shot, it's not personal.
All right, yeah. Mazak says, hit your KKK Reggie, J Doug, you'll be all right.
Yeah, and I don't take it personal when people throw shots at me, by the way, too. And I want people to keep throwing shots.
Ish says, pills, the opioid thing is a slippery slope. He used to play sports. Opiates are prescribed to sports injuries, dances, back pain, etc. It sedates you, not illegal, but addictive. Skew facts, #Prince. And Lord Vell says, can we agree, J Doug, that the officers should have just put handcuffs on Floyd, then took him to jail?
Yeah, I always said he should just let him sit there and squirm. I didn't know what that was about with the knee on his neck. First, they were saying that was a industry practice. It was in the training. Then you had the captain of the police come into the trial and said it wasn't in the training. So if it wasn't in the training, it shouldn't even been implemented. So as far as like, I guess they moved past that point and they figured out that wasn't in the training. I don't know the exact what they results is on that, but I think they said it wasn't in the training. So no, he shouldn't have been doing that. He should have let him swear. I don't know what that was about. And I always say that about the handcuff, multiple shows. When these police shoot people and all this stuff, why they still got to cuff people? I don't get that. Get the gun away from them, kick it away. But what's the cuffs about? What you cuffing a dead person for? Well, that's just weird.
HB2N says, sometimes when black men ask questions, people get nervous. It's not a part of the plan, J Doug. We're not supposed to ask why.
I know, man. Like I say, they not pulling me back on the plantation. I'm free. I don't go by all these black rules. I don't play all these ghetto games. I do what I do.
All right. Said by the man who wants to bring slavery back. HB2N, thank you for your donation. We appreciate that, man. That's much appreciated. JJ says the problem in the justice system is picky with who they use justice. I think they meant is the problem with the justice system is they pick who they use justice for. He's innocent until proven guilty. We're usually guilty until proven innocent, and I agree with that. You know what I mean, a lot of times they will consider us guilty before being proven innocent, which is why part of the reform was to kind of cancel the bail for, bullshit crimes in certain places. Why? Because when you work in that field, like I've done for a while, via youth, you learn that the judge, the jury, the lawyers, everybody in the courtroom will look at you like a criminal if you come out in fucking jail uniform for your court case. And sometimes you come out in that jail uniform simply because you couldn't afford your bail. Simply because you couldn't afford your bail. So depending on the case, they are trying to let people back out without bail to go to court if it's not a serious case. You know what I mean? Of course, for certain things like murder, there's no bail for in certain places. I don't know about everywhere in the country, but a lot of places, I think in New York City is one of them. If it's murder, you're not going to get a bail. But yeah, that's why people shouldn't go to court in the jail clothes.
I agree with they should take away the bail for your first and maybe your second offense, depending on what it is. But all these just keep letting people out of jail, I don't agree with. Sometimes you do have to. I want consequences, so we can't take away all the consequences once again. So yeah, that do work, because like you say, sometimes people just don't have the money, and it's better to fight your case from the outside in. But that's not a luxury we should provide every time you decide that you want to commit a low-level offense.
Sunflower Scott says J. Doug did not give an opinion. He asked questions which will happen in court. Mom and Extra Cause says HB correct, but J. Doug was being a dick. There was nothing, I think he meant genuine or genius. I'm not sure. It says emotional plus ego equals dangerous. I agree. Mom Extra Cause says HB agreed, but okay, he was not being genuinely asking questions. He's notorious for this, both on the Morning Rant and his own show. And I think what that he's trying to describe is there's a difference when you're giving a speech of just from an informative standpoint and a persuasive, which is why there are two forms of speeches, right? There's informative speech and there's persuasive speech. You know what I mean? So I think people are, smart enough to understand when you're trying to be persuasive versus informative, because we do practice being objective up here and we do let you speak, just not speak over. Canna Blurred, aka Redemption, says agreed. HB2N says life isn't fair, Mimi. Men understand the content of a man's character matters when discussing his death.
I want another thing I was saying when Mimi said like nobody deserves to die. That's another thing that's not true. There's some people that deserve to die. And that's just the natural point of life. That's why God takes some people out of here. You don't know what's going on the inside of people and what they've done and the destruction that certain people could make if they're not handled. So it's not always to say that. Not saying George Floyd deserved to die. I'm not tying that in with that at all. I'm just saying in general, some people do. You got some people do some horrible stuff.
All right. Just One Love says every time you open your mouth, you're emotional. J. Doug. Canna Bird is laughing / it says to act without thinking is an emotional act. To act without thinking is an emotional act. Salute to Ish for saying that. That's why he's the big bro. Lord Vanderlee says J. Doug, you're getting emotional. And HB2N says I like how logic presses J. Doug. It usually solidifies J. Doug's argument.
Me too. That's why I say I like when they do it. Because even when that's why I say I can always call back and tie it in. So that's why I say I want to keep doing it, because this stuff makes me better. Look, I ain't got no education. I just know what I know. The word is written on my heart. The word is made flesh. That's it.
All right. And HB2N, if you notice, also me part of being objective is sometimes I bring a story, or not sometimes, most of the time, if we spoke about something and he had an opinion, even if I disagree, If I see something that solidifies his argument, I'll bring it to the show later on in the week or in the weeks, right? So once again, you know, anybody, J Doug, anybody in the chat, whoever accusing motherfuckers of not letting him speak, you know what I mean, or get his point across, that will be false.
And I want to,
and that is something that I can admit I will absolutely always take personal. Being accused of something that I have not done, that I will take personal. But go ahead,
and I want to salute Logic and the panel because, like I say, you got a lot of black people that just don't want to be associated with nothing that they don't believe in necessarily. So for him to let me come on the show, get it out there, which he knows what I bring. Like Logic did meet me last year. I think I've been knowing Logic going on probably 3 years now, and he been watching my older content. And I met him through Shampoo, which was supposed to be producing a show for me that just fell through. And then Logic kept in contact with me throughout those years until the point where he did start back up the Ranters Union, and he let me go ahead and put my show on there. So, like I say, Logic ain't against me. This is just a show. We have beautiful conversations off air, and that's all it is. It's not really nothing. It's not really nothing, man. But salute to Logic for the platform and just allowing it to get out there, even if he don't necessarily agree. That's it. Because a lot of people just don't do that. A lot of people like to keep their content and what they do geared to their agenda. So I have to salute him on that.
That's a fact. We don't do echo chambers, and I salute you and the rest in the panel and everybody in the chat as well. All right, salute to you all. Thank you for the acknowledgement. Mr. White says J Doug sounding emotional. I think this is retroactive comments too, but I think he spoke about that. Maz Algorithm says now J Doug a frontline soldier like my son.
I'm trying to get the bag like my son. Shit, my son was a little mouse, little mice, little rat up in the movement, and that being exposed. But that's another show.
All right, his words, not mine. My son.
His receipts coming out that they connected to George Soros too.
All right, Mama X says J Doug, the whole point to protesting is to express disapproval of something. That's it. Violence is common amongst black people protesting simply because we're not supposed to congregate in groups. HB Twin says job been in the field. Let me see. Big CC says it's more on shade. It's more on shade on here than in the shade room, honey. She said there's more shade in here than is in the shade room. Hilarious. Salute to Big CC. Hold on. I think I just skipped a bunch of comments. Hold on. We go back to where I was supposed to be. So I don't want to miss anybody's comment if possible. And the comments definitely got backed up. There we go. HB Torrent says, respectfully, Mimi, you press J Doug character. Logic press J Doug argument. It's a difference. And Laurel says the protest is not the front line. Agreed. HB2N says, see how Logic attacking the argument, not J Doug, even though I will admit Logic put extra sauce on it. Muhammad says the joke is weirdos really think protesting is supposed to amount to something like, okay, you express your disapproval. What's next after the expression?
And see, I wasn't doing that soft protesting. I was down there actually ready to tear some shit up, ready to go all out. See, that's the type of protesting I like. I don't like peaceful protests. If we gonna do it, let's do it. Let's fuck some shit up when it's the right cause for the right reasons.
I think the point is though that the protest, and I think the point Laurel and I and even Mom Shakur is trying to make is that the protest, yeah, you express your disapproval and all that, and yeah, maybe it might be a tool in the toolbox, but at the end of the day, the goal is to get laws passed. The goal is for change, and you don't really get change from expressing disapproval. In fact, they usually more times use that against us, right? So we out there protesting. If shit does get tore up, it's more of a reason for people to say, see, they're fucking animals. They don't have any self-control, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You know what I mean? Salute to the Rose Show for sending us a donation.
And I agree with that. Protesting is not the front line, but I do say it's a form of the front line. If stuff really got to go down, I'm a part of the front line. I'm ready to take some pain. I'm ready to fight back. That's what I'm saying. If it's time to go there for the right reasons, of course, not gonna be for no made up stuff. But that's all I'm saying.
All right. Once again, salute to the Roshar associate producer. Salute to Lord Vel. Salute to HB2N. Appreciate you all. Mr. White says J Doug defends himself by not actually saying anything. He also says can't be wrong if you're not saying anything. Frontline. Ahmad says a J Doug quote. I'm a frontline soldier. Hilarious. Lord Vel in the league says remember J Doug said he was in the NOI.
I studied the NOI. Not a schoolboy said you had to do all that. No, I was not in the NOI, but I did study the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. The message to the black man. I got the message.
Thank you for
and the message is the same message I'm pushing out right now. To be clear and honest with you, it's the same message that I'm telling y'all. But when I say it, they hate him when he said it too. So whatever. Most black people didn't like Honorable Elijah Muhammad, but it's the same message.
All right, I'm gonna finish these comments, but I know Schoolboy, you have to go. You want to say peace to the people, or you rock it to the end of the comments? Which one?
I gotta run. Gotta
All
run
right.
the street.
Schoolboy, have a great day, man. Be productive, be safe out there, right?
All right, y'all take care.
They send me that shirt in the mail. I'm gonna play tic-tac-toe with a Sharpie on that motherfucker.
All right. Mr. White says Frontline sounded real emotional all of a sudden. Let me see. Lord Vel says Mia, ignore these niggas. And Virginia Sim says, you mentioned you're going off the evidence presented, but you only acknowledge only one piece of evidence. A single piece does not paint a whole picture.
I acknowledge 2 forms of the evidence. I also acknowledge when they said that this was later, but I did say something. I don't know if you left that then, but I did say something about the testifying that wasn't part of the program. But like I say, my line of questioning was shut off about the case. So I will cut short.
Mr. White says Frontline. HB2 says, nah, I really like Mimi. I don't want her to agree, just to understand. Let me see. So apparently Mimi was in the comments having a conversation with everybody. So I'm gonna try to ignore the back and forths between that. HB2 says, Ja don't throw shots, he just put sauce on it. Y'all all entertaining. I'm glad. Just One Love says next subject. Sorry, sis. There's no more topics for the day. The topics are over. Sorry.
And George Floyd thing wasn't even supposed to be a topic. I was just trying to see what Schoolboy thought of that just particular thing that came out. I just see if he fell for it or not. I was like, so he might have thought different. I didn't know what Schoolboy was at far as that. But I haven't been seeing that in media, so it must not be a credible thing to people. I don't know.
Lavelle says Ravioli needs to have her trial, and I agree, but she hasn't agreed to the trial yet. So we'll see. We'll see. You know what I mean? Either she'll have the trial or she'll take the post down, and we'll just get past it. Either way, we shall see. Only time will tell.
Why she still ain't took the post down though? I don't get it.
I think some people just don't want to be told what to do. I don't know. I can't speak for her. Mr. White says Frontlines even ain't ever wrong. And not for nothing. It's not that I told her what to do. She agreed to that after we kind of spoke about the post, and she just never did it, even though I gave her the replacement post she asked for. She just never did it. So Sky says in the 10th man approach, it's the 10th man approach. Come on. And Mr. White says Frontlines just a fact correcting crime fighting machine. Mamek Shakur says, and most places are known for excessive bells. Speaking of the bell conversation, Kid Murray says true. Salute to Kid Murray, my guy. Salute to my guy Kid Murray pulling up on us today. You know what I mean? Good morning, sir. And let me see. Mamek Shakur says, J Doug, that's not protesting, that's being destructive. Sky says, wait, my friend is a protester who has made a case law in Colorado. So once again, it's not just about the protesting, you know what I mean? It's about getting the law passed. So yeah, it could be a tool in the toolbox, like I said earlier, but the front line is really in getting the laws passed, if in my opinion. You know what I mean?
And I agree with that.
I've been part of that, you know what I mean? Probably protested and got shit passed with a group of people with the Center of Constitutional Rights, you know what I mean, in New York City. We've helped get some things passed in regards to prison reform, which J Doug probably wouldn't agree with, you know what I mean? So I've been part of the process and seen it go all the way and not just, express disapproval at something and go home, you know what I mean? And, and some may know I was a student activist in college, you know what I mean? More so than a student. I was more of an activist in college. So I was doing more activism than actual fucking schoolwork, you know what I mean? I'll say that. My Mexico says Sunflower, that's because he does more than express his disapproval. He actually put on work behind the scenes. That's a fact. So with all that being said, yeah, we reach into the 3-hour mark of the show. Even though it wasn't supposed to be a topic, I don't necessarily all the way agree with that. We definitely wanted to have that as part of the Civil War report, the update on the George Floyd case. So if you
Chauvin.
excuse me, yes, thank you, sir, thank you. The Derek Chauvin case, because George Floyd is not the one on trial. And with that being said, I think it was a healthy discussion. Needless to say, you might not agree with everything being said from all points, but at the end of the day, you come up with your own conclusion. That's what you do here. You come up with your own conclusion. I hate to end it on some type of with that being the last story. Usually we like to laugh on the way out or something like that, but it is what it is. And salute to Sleazy Aki, shot in my organization that I'm the founder of, Street Smart Movement. We like to say when you street and you smart, that's the movement. Started that in college in 2004.
I like that name.
Thank you, sir. Mills Lane says Waco, Texas, May 2015, biker gang brawl, 9 dead, 177 arrested, 155 indictments, 1 trial, no convictions, justice, ? And salute the co-producer, Sleazy Aki, also says $ the morning rant. That's, of course, if you want to send us all a donation. Send us all a donation via $the morning rant, and it gets split evenly amongst all co-hosts and or panel members. So if you want to send us something, especially today, because we want to send a little extra love Mia's way for her celebration, you know what I mean? Celebratory situation, actually getting that award. Sunflower Sky says, salute the morning rant. Because of these conversations, it gets us all thinking. Critical thinking is crucial.
Yeah, just a quick pause on that. Sorry. Because even in the chat, shout out to HB2, and we usually disagree, but while y'all were going at it, I got distracted. But we were able to see each other differently. So it's good to be contrast is not a bad thing. Contrast, there's supposed to be contrast too. Everything's not supposed to agree with you. So
I agree with that wholeheartedly. I agree with that. So, salute to the audience. I'm sorry that was the last thing we spoke about, but at the end of the day, I think you'll appreciate it. Most of you stuck with us, you know what I mean? So salute to everybody who sent a donation. Salute to everybody in the chat. Salute to everybody who took the time to actually hit the like button. I don't push the issue on the like button, but, it does help the algorithm out and all of that good shit. The Rose Show says, I was late, but enjoyed the rant. Salute to our associate producer, The Rose Show. Keenan Kong is already saying peace, my guy. So y'all know what time it is. We're going to get to some music and some tunes and all that on our way out of here. However, you know what it is. This has been the morning rant. Peace.
Money.
I want to tell you one more thing I know about the Negro. They abort their young children. They put their young men in jail because they never learned how to pick cotton. And I've often wondered, are they better off as slaves?
It's not always the word, it's the context in which the word is said.
nigga, let the water flood the basement. My Jewish nigga charged 2 racks to lose your cases. I forget which is the part that makes me the racist. That I said it, or you know niggas just like them. I'm so sick of these niggas, I mean disgusting. Take it how you want, the same circles disgust me. I'm still torn with my guiltiest obsession between models of Jersey Shore chicks with nigga tendencies. When blackbirds fly, no snakes gon' hiss. The streets of jungle, the world must be my jungle gym. This rap shit got you niggas too sensitive. Guess that's why they confess it all the vixens. Tried to reason with niggas, that was an epic fail. The Boutons, the reason niggas gon' red tail.
Sometimes I just hate to deal with. I swear if I didn't love my niggas, man. All my life I wouldn't fuck with.
I know you niggas was laughing. Probably thought I was finished, but I'm right back in it to give you niggas the business. You ain't gotta give me shit, cause I'm bucking from my position. Crushing the opposition, killing the competition. I hold them in a submission. Now tell me what you call that. I'm swinging like Barry Bonds, minus the Cleveland ball bats. I swear to some of mine, I suggest you to fall back. You know, like late November. Cause when it come to money, I get colder than December. And when you do for niggas, they tend not to remember. I done had it up to here, got me fed up with them. Even your family members be trying to turn against you.
Sometimes I just hate to deal with. I swear if I didn't love my niggas, man. All my life I wouldn't fuck with.
My life is cracked, but not all it's cracked up to be. Melvin told me, watch how niggas come at you now. The shareholders meeting always articulate to the head nigga in charge, watch the handshakes. I want a name to me more than hip-hop slang. Condense my pain into a fucking catchphrase. I heard him say hip-hop, modern-day folk music. So I'm the rap Bob Dylan going electric. I know the bitches love it, but fuck them too. Pussy is a weapon, even if dicks shoot. Could you learn to love alive? You hated the truth. I ain't amused. The jokes gotta be on me, more like a ruse. Maybe a fucking roast, about to let the oven toast. Haters turn shooters, what I do to the six. Miss me with that bull, now look who the shit. Excuse my French and fine passes, but it's like why the Americans got passes. They heard niggas is in Paris. Also hard.
Sometimes I just hate to deal with. I swear if I didn't love my niggas, man. All my life I wouldn't fuck with.
Do you know what a nigga is? A nigga feels below anything else on this earth. He doesn't care about himself. He doesn't care about anybody else. He doesn't care about anything. I want my children to be black and proud of it.
Our bodies always dropping, and all our babies watching. They chase them down and block them off and lost them while they shot them. First they chased us down, locked us up to profit off of cotton. And they chased us down, hung us up, and smiled while someone shot it. The universe is listening, but the devil's always plotting. So your prayers ain't loud enough because he only talks in violence. A secret code of silence that they use to maintain dominance. Those votes don't come with bullets, so tell Biden, fuck up out it. If a nigga take your chain, you go kill him. In the streets, that's crystal clear. Massa put them chains on you, give you 100 years. The heaviest chains be the ones that you can see there. The ice so cold, blind your third eyes, optics, American pie a la mode, and everybody's rotten. They shot him on his couch while he was eating Haagen-Dazs. They even shot her in her sleep, and she was out there saving lives. They shot Tamir for playing, he shot them just for praying. Then the cops went out and copped them Burger King with extra fries. The cops the KKK and they ain't even trying to hide. I went and copped the big AK and then I got it supersized. I grabbed my vest up off the dresser, laced my boots up extra tight. Kiss my wife and hold my daughter, hope I make it through the night. But if I don't, won't go out pleading, I'll go out squeezing. Just like Gavin Long and Micah X, they both have valid reasons. When you shackled in the pressure, color justified your death. They yelling at you, stop resisting with their knee inside your neck. And that's just some shit that I'm supposed to sit back and accept. Fuck a check, ain't no rest until I get that cracker's head, nigga.
Blast that gat in your mouth.
The Klan no longer just wears white hoods and white sheets, but now the Klan wears black robes and sits on the judge's bench to rule from the courtroom. The Klan now wears blue uniform, carries a badge or a shield and a legal quote-unquote weapon. 2 or 3 brothers so bad, I'm blood, I'm crip. Damn white men come, you throw the guns under the damn car, throw the damn guns in the bushes, you make 50 niggas stand up against the wall, one peck of wood. I don't never read about no drive-bys at the police station. I never heard of you shooting at the police station and busting on a cracker while they eat Dunkin' Donuts. You ain't got the heart, but you'll kill your own.
Fire, nigga. I'm on fire right now, fuck, nigga. I had the biggest comeback, nigga. Niggas thought it was over with for me, nigga. Y'all tried to count me out, nigga. I ain't forgot about that shit. Y'all niggas think I forgot, nigga. I ain't forgot about none of that shit. So I'm back with a chip on my fucking shoulder, nigga.
Wrote this with my eyes closed, or rose in Moscato. Intuition, inner visions, flow from out the cosmos. Niggas ask me how I made it, I begin if I know. I just went with my soul, and the rest just follow. She's a good girl, fuck that bitch, I'd rather deal with hoes. Say no to CashApp, I ain't tricking, bitch, you must be psycho. But I'm prone to lie though, just don't tell all my bros. I spoke gelato in the Bronto, so I got the sky closed. Damn, it's raining, grab my cane and pass my Prada poncho. The boots was leather with the tassels, those the Randy Macho. Goggles, Ferragamo, condos big as Costco. I popped the rhino, then she swallowed like it's Mr. Sacco. Mirror, mirror, who's the illest? Please don't tell me I know. Mirror, mirror, who's the realest? Wait, don't tell me I know. Mirror, mirror, who's the rarest? Please don't tell me I know. Modern life like Rocco, but I still pray to Shango. Mirror, mirror, who's the illest? Please don't tell me I know. Mirror, mirror, who's the realest? Wait, don't tell me I know. Mirror, mirror, who's the rarest? Please don't tell me I know. I devour my goals, and that's word to Gaucho. Rebel, outlaw, reckless, vato, ghetto, desperado. Aim the Draco, eating tacos, take your breath like Tyclos. Adjacent to Van Gogh, I'm chasing my shadow. The pain is the shackle, embrace it for battle. In the gym for 7 weeks, I feel like Boris Kojo. I mean Cujo with a new hoe, sober watching Kuso. With my old hoe, I forgot I fuck my hoes in duos. Fofo throws in 2 hoes, loopholes Albert Pujols. That piece of coupon for designer, Gucci coat was 2-tone. School old Parasuco, shoot like Tony Kukoc. Bitch, I'm a Samson, no Delilah, put that on my tombstone. Mirror, mirror, who's the illest? Please don't tell me I know. Mirror, mirror, who's the realest? Wait, don't tell me I know. Mirror, mirror, who's the rarest? Please don't tell me I know. I devour my goals, and that's word to Gaucho.